Welcome back to Rhapsody, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons game set in a post-apocalyptic Earth. Of course, I am your host, the Manted Man. You can call me Matt, Dungeon Master, or anything really in between. I will take it. Joining me, as always, are my fantastic players with a small edit. We will get into that in a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. But let's get all the hodgepodge out of the way. So, this is indeed Session 10, our 10th session of Rhapsody. Rising Tides Part 5 is the chapter that we are on. Remember that this is a mature game with mature themes and things like that. So if you are easily offended or anything of the sort, just tread a little carefully, pay attention. You may have to mute at certain places, but we don't want to censor the way the world works or the players. It's a terrible place to be, and we wanted to reflect that as accurately as we could. The game is brought to you from a few different sponsors. Of course, inkedgaming.com, where you can play your games with your style. Use code TRS12 to get 12% off your final purchase of playmats, gaming bags, backpacks, hoodies, battle maps for Dungeons & Dragons, and so much more. Give them a visit. Again, inkedgaming.com. Of course, that TRS code comes from our sponsors at Team Rankstar. They allow us to put our videos up on the Team Rankstar YouTube. There are links on the Team Rankstar website, and it is a fantastic little marrying of communities, so check them out as well. The music during the breaks, at the beginning and at the end of the show every week are, of course, brought to you from Max Tunes at taketones.com. You can get your free music at taketones.com for your own Twitch broadcasts, YouTube videos, anything in between. All you have to do is a little shout out every once in a while and say taketones.com, and you get all kinds of free music. And last but not least, the pair of Roll20.net and Wizards of the Coast. Roll20.net is the gaming engine that we use. It is a digital table space that lets you play hundreds, if not thousands, of different kinds of games with your friends all around the world. We're scattered all over the northern continent, the North American continent. Yeah, the northern continent. So we're scattered all over the North American continent. We play together nearly every week. We have a lot of fun, and Roll20 is what makes that possible for us. It's seamless, and it's free. You can start your gaming experiences today by heading on over to roll20.net and signing up for your free account. Find yourself a group and rock and roll. And of course, Wizards of the Coast, the designers, publishers, developers, testers, everything in between. Wizards of the Coast brings us Dungeons & Dragons like they've been doing for decades on end. Plenty of us have enjoyed it for way more than we maybe should or would, but we love it so much that we keep coming back. So thank you, of course, to Wizards of the Coast. Now, let's reach out and talk. So Dylan's having some trouble with microphone. Dylan is here playing Hannah. We're going to let them continue working. We'll talk to some of the other players, and then we'll really get started. Emily, it's been a little while. How are you doing?
I am doing all right. It's been a rather slow week. I've been getting back into various card games like Hearthstone or Keyforge or Magic. Even booted up Eternal once, but I only played it a little bit. I have surgery, getting a stomach sleeve in a couple of weeks, and I'm incredibly nervous about that. That's really all that's going on in my life.
You say nervous, but I hear that little hint of excitement in there as well. It's an exciting time. It's something you've been, I think, looking forward to, right?
I mean, yes and no. I'm looking forward to the results. I'm not looking forward to the month afterwards of eating only soup.
Yeah, I think that falls into more drinking. But you know, we're all here and rooting for you. We're all very excited. Probably not as much as you are about the results, but we've all been a family for a very long time. So we're all our thoughts and everything else are with you. So very excited that you're going to be here for this, and hopefully you'll be up to playing as everything continues to go forward. Graham, not nearly, or you're doing a lot of stuff as well. It may not be surgical or medical in nature for a body, but surgical maybe when it comes to the house and everything else. How's your life going up there in the Northeast as well?
Slow but steady. Yeah, I have no complaints, none whatsoever. I think we're just really excited that spring. We've had nothing but rain for weeks now. I'd like some nice, clean, sunny weather. I need a stretch of 3 weeks. That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. We had some sun here in the Pacific Northwest, and it has devolved back into kind of chilly, overcast for the next couple of days. So I feel you. I'm tired of this. I want some more of that 75, 80-degree weather.
That's what
and
I
all of
want.
that
I
stuff.
mowed my lawn for the first time last weekend, and it was awesome.
I kind of miss mowing my lawn. I cannot wait to have a house again. We're getting closer.
I know who your real estate agent can be.
So do I. Jeff, how are you doing, my friend?
Pretty good.
Yeah. You've been very busy with some of the other stuff that we do. We play World of Warcraft together. You know, the guild just finished AOTC on Jaina and all this kind of stuff. I see you have been on there doing Mythic pluses. Are you playing anything else, or is it just Dungeons and Dragons and World of Warcraft right now?
I play a ton of Dead by Daylight as well, which is a really fun game to just kind of get in there and play. You don't have too much progression in that, so it's fun to just kick back with some friends and slam a couple generators for those that know the game.
Yeah, I watched some streams for a while. I played some of the single player, so I feel you. That's definitely good stuff. Gonna skip.
A couple weeks ago, I got Cat, so that's new.
Oh, that's right. We have missed a couple of weeks, and that was one of the things that we were going to ask. The week that you got the cat, we had to cancel because of the storm and stuff. How's the little bugger doing?
She's great. Just she tends to be a cat and get into things she's not supposed to.
Hey, I have a 2-year-old that does the same thing.
Yeah,
What's her name?
Her name is May, and she's recently decided that she likes to bite wires. So I'm looking into getting some double-sided tape, which should correct the issue.
So if you disappear, there is a possibility that it is a Cat 5 cable that was chewed up by a cat?
I don't know about that. I'm pretty good at stopping her. She just does it for attention now.
That's legit. So, well, that's awesome. Congratulations on the fur baby. Hopefully May is well behaved tonight and does nothing except for comfort you during the shenanigans that are going to unfold. Tim, our Canadian representative, how have you been?
A little bit of a scare last week, but not all good.
Yep, yeah, we were all rooting for you. Glad everything came through. I'm not going to say what it was because I don't think it was public on the Discord, but yeah, I'm happy everything worked out well, and that there was no ripples from it. It seems like.
Nope, just something we have to live with as it's sadly wheat is in everything.
Yes, it is. Even the most unlikely things, for some reason, have wheat chucked in as filler. So definitely vigilance is key, and hopefully none of that happens again in any time in the near future or ever if we're going to be grandiose. So you may have noticed that I did not say that we are missing somebody, but Allie, our player for Alex, has had to step away from the game. It is not a temporary thing, unfortunately. Their life is chaotic right now. They're doing so many very awesome things that they had to make some sacrifices here and there to accommodate all the things that they were working on. So Rhapsody was one of those things that had to be cut. Allie is still a member of the Discord, which you can find if you type !D&D in the Twitch chat, or you check the information below if you're watching on YouTube. Allie's still a member of the Discord. We'll still be talking, hanging out in the general channels and things like that, but no longer a player in Rhapsody. If for some reason, or if down the road life clears up a little bit and they want to get back in, we can approach that as necessary, but everybody's split amicably. So I will be piloting Alex for the foreseeable future. We have some story stuff in store because I don't like playing characters that stick with the party for long periods of time. So I'm not saying anything bad is going to happen to Alex, but stuff will happen that allows me to play the other characters. So we wish the best for Allie and hope to see them around the stream and around the Discord. You'll also notice in the top left corner of the screen, whether you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, you can now see who's talking when. There's a little excerpt from our Discord server. The names will light up as people are talking, so you can a little bit better relate what who is saying what and when through the cacophony that sometimes arises. We figured that would be a nice little addition. So shout out to one of our mods, Noah, and of course Shannon, our resident production and streamer, for getting that put together. I think it's going to work really well. I'm watching it right now, and it's nice and clean. It's very simple. I'm going to navigate the map around it. It'll be good stuff. Now, geez, it's almost been 20 minutes of recap and saying hello. We'll wrap this up and we'll get into the game. Just a little recap. I'm going to recap the last 2 sessions very quickly, going from day 5 into day 6 in game time. So the party went out into New York City to find Remy and a couple of rogue guards that had stolen him away to find a weapons cache. During their trip, they were attacked by some giant scaled dog creatures, ended up in an abandoned warehouse, put some plans together to move on down towards the lower east side of Manhattan. They got down there, found the police station that they were originally looking for. It was burned out, and they saw a large group of Ashers outside this burned out police station. They decided not to engage, and they went to the safe house where they came across a couple of Kalists, which are what the undead are being called currently by those who are familiar with them. They followed them for a little bit, but were not able to engage, and ended up going to the garden safe house where they met Eddie and Rodrigo, spent the night there, and in day 6, which is our last session a few weeks ago, Hannah and Minerva made a shield and cotter pins to trade for more information and things like that from Eddie and Rodrigo. When they left, they left the safe house at the beginning of the day before the sun had even finished rising. They had to fight 2 giant worms, decided it was not in their best interest to continue that fight, so they fled. They came across a couple of Kalists and killed them. Double killed? I don't know what happens with undead, so we'll just call them double dead. But they took some serious damage in that fight. They did end up finding the police safe house that they were looking for, and inside they found a secret basement under a bookshelf. In the basement was a gun safe that was completely empty. During that point, Hannah found the rogue guards and Remy in a locked room on the 2nd floor of the police safe house. Combat ensued. Remy was executed. The guards got away through a hole that they had cut in the wall, and we've had some role play in the Rhapsody Discord that you can go back through and catch up on some of the fallout that has come from these 2 guards getting away. Remember that Hannah put her license on the line, essentially, had her license put on the line for bringing Remy back, because she and Professor November were the last ones seen with Remy before he was stolen away. And we are now here. Hannah's still pretty frustrated, I think. Professor November, dang it, I did it right away. Professor November has kind of explained a little bit how he's feeling as well. So it's a very interesting scenario that we're going to jump back into. Pardon any rough around the edges RP. It's been a few weeks since we've been able to play, so we're all very happy to get back into the game. So yeah, just forgive any roughness. So we're going to go ahead and start here. And now I'm going to let you all take it away.
I think it's a valid point. If Minerva can change shape, why not change age? It's just another variable.
Minerva is pointedly ignoring you and sniffing at the floor of the alley and still trying to follow down the path as quietly as she can.
Oh, yes, that's right. For anybody who has not been able to pay attention to the RP, Minerva is currently wild-shaped into a dog. I don't remember the breed, but I'm sure she'll let us know here in just a second.
Did I pick a breed?
I think you had said something about a beagle or something like that just an offshoot like comment from a dog in your past, but I don't remember 100%.
Yeah, Roscoe a bloodhound is what I said. So yeah, sure, bloodhound.
There we go. So, yeah, Minerva is wild shaped into a bloodhound. Doesn't have meta knowledge. Does not have the ability to communicate vocally. And November is prodding for other answers on what she is actually capable of. It's quite the mystery to the professor.
Well, if you find a trail, let's hurry up and chase after it.
I believe I did find a trail. From rolls in the chat over the week. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, you found technically 2 trails, but they are intertwined with one another. So you found the scent of Kevlar and gunshot, the scent of Kevlar, and then also the scent of like GSR, gunshot residue, gunpowder. They're mixed. They're mingled with one another right now, and they have moved north. That's the direction that your nose is pointing.
All right, I'm gonna keep snuffling along north, and let me know if anything changes for the trail. I'm focusing more on the path than on scouting, so I'm not like trying to be quiet or anything right now.
Yeah, completely understandable. We're going to edit this map and we'll go back to our street level map here. Get rid of the owl and all that. Is the rest of the party moving with Minerva?
Yes.
I am. Yes.
All right, Alex is also moving with the group, and as is Hannah, I am sure. Still a little bit of technical difficulties there, but that is a-okay. I will bounce the party over to this map. Oh, and we can get rid of the torchlight because it is now daylight as well. There, I think that should get us good to go. All right, so the party is moving north through the streets relatively quickly right now, trying to track down these 2 guards that have taken not only a cache of guns, which they know definitely included at least 1 flashbang grenade and 1 combat shotgun, but also now the scent of Kevlar, and who knows what else was in there that they have loaded themselves down with.
So does anybody have like an idea of how to deal with that gun? Like it must have been some type of shotgun, and preferably I don't feel like getting shot in the face today.
No, I don't.
The best way to deal with a gun is to not be on the end where the bullet comes out.
That's true.
I never would have thought of that. Thank you for that enlightening point there, Doctor.
Well, surely he will have to reload at some point.
That's true, and from the sounds of it, he let off a couple shots back at the whatever you'd call that, the flat or whatever, and who knows how much ammunition he has left.
Minerva, go ahead and give me another survival check. Or excuse me, not survival, perception. You are nose sniffing. This will be an advantage.
Good, I'm glad.
So am I. I think so is the rest of the party. All right. So the trail continues north, moving with pretty good speed. Like you can kind of go ahead and give me a survival actually as well, so we can see if you can figure out based on how fast you're moving, how far ahead they are. I've only got a couple minute head start on you, just from kind of the outburst and things like that. You're not quite sure how far ahead they are with the huddle, the subtle smells of ash and a little bit of decay here and there, blood on your cohorts as well. It's kind of hard to tell how far ahead they are currently.
All right, I'm gonna keep following it. Doesn't I don't
Hopefully go to some sort of alley or dead end. Maybe they take a wrong turn.
Minerva will bark softly. It's hard to communicate when you're a dog.
Professor seems to take it as you're agreeing with him, so good talk. Lead the
Minerva
way.
will stop and look back at you and glare, and then keep going.
Follow the trail, boy. Follow the trail, boy.
She's now going to just stop and sit down and glare at you.
I think she found something.
No, I think she changes species and not sex.
Oh, I didn't check.
No, don't
but
check.
that's-
Minerva goes down the trail quickly, away from the professor.
That is another variable, though. That's
Not one that needs exploring.
fine. I thought you'd be at least a little bit more intrigued by the possibility of reducing age.
Well, that would be for her. It wouldn't really help my situation. I can't extract that from.
Well, something to learn.
Maybe we could try something. Like, maybe if Minerva could like understand us, be like, "Hey, Minerva, if you find something, can you like tap your foot on the ground twice for yes, and I don't know, wag your tail for no."
She'll tap her foot twice.
Was that you understanding, or do you have an itchy foot?
She'll tap her foot twice.
I see an issue with this plan now.
Perhaps you could use nodding for yes and shaking your head for no. Like humans do.
She'll raise her head up and down. It's not quite a nod because the neck doesn't work that way.
That works for me.
Minerva, you're just kind of coasting down the streets following the scent, correct? Are you doing anything else?
No, I'm deliberately letting the other people look for. I'm just following the smell. The way I'm imagining it is I'm not used to having a sensorium like this, and the smell is just completely overwhelming and interesting that it's distracting me from even looking at things visually, and even from hearing them a little bit.
That makes perfect sense. What's the rest of the party doing? Just following and kind of chatting while they're jogging along behind Minerva, or anything additional?
As we pass alleyways, I'd be checking them out, but pretty much other than that, talking to Professor and following Minerva.
I'm going to take a chance here really quick. Dylan, are you able to communicate with us?
Potentially. How is this?
Oh, it's beautiful. You sound fantastic.
Okay. Roll 20 is a difficult proposition at the moment, so I might have you roll for me.
I can handle that. We have overcome much worse in the past.
Hannah would be looking out for, she is worried about the bandit's getting the drop on the party, so she's trying to keep an ear out and an eye out for where she's going.
Definitely understandable. So I am going to have Hannah, and I'll roll this. We're going to roll a perception. So you don't see too much of note. Let's get some rolls here while we chase. Minerva is a dog, so actually I'm just going to go left to right. So Graham, go ahead and give me a D100, and let's keep it above a 35.
Nope.
It's not above a 35. All right.
You cursed me, Matt.
I know, I'm the worst. If you weren't a goblin with your dice.
I'm an elf goblin. Half elf, half goblin.
Fair. That's right. I did see that after all. All right. Give me a D10 as well. I'm just going to see what the random is for this. All right. Okay. So Minerva's kind of leading the pack here. Gonna move her up just a touch. So Minerva's leading the pack, sniffing at the air and everything. Minerva, go ahead and give me another perception at advantage.
I get it, pack because dog.
Exactly. All right, so the scent is still strong. Let's do one more. I want to see another something better than an 18. One more time. This is also at advantage.
Survival?
No, one more perception.
One more, okay. Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. I wasn't super clear on it. Okay, so Minerva, as you guys cross another street, you've gone up a few blocks on this chase now. As you cross over the next street, this pile of rubble over here, the gunpowder smell kind of goes over in that direction, while the Kevlar and other gunpowder smells continue on down the street.
All right, I'm going to head over to the gunpowder smell and kind of paw at the rubble a little bit.
So as you get closer, let me ask Dylan this really quick since Roll20 is a little tough. Dylan, how close are you staying to Minerva, considering the relationship?
10 feet back. 15 maybe.
Sounds good. All right, so Minerva moves over there. Everybody else is kind of where they would be. Alex is flanking, protecting the doctor a little bit. November's in the middle. I got Hannah up. Darian just on Minerva's tail. Ha, another dog joke. And then Minerva moving over to the side over here. Minerva, as you approach, you hear a beeping sound. Very, very slight beeping sound. But before you can even react, let's go ahead and get dexterity save for you and Darian. Darian, your danger sense will be in effect here. All right. Minerva and Darian both fail. Luckily, it's not too terrible. All right, so as Minerva approaches that beeping sound, she kind of cocks her head to the side just as the trash pile erupts. It's not an explosion of like fire. It is a lot of smoke and propellant, and BBs fly kind of in all directions. They pepper the wall of the crumbling building behind the pile of rubble. They pepper the wall on the other side, and they punch into Minerva's body and Darian's. Minerva, you're a base dog, which I think has like 10 hit points.
If even, yeah.
Yeah, so keep that in mind as we get this damage here. Neither one of you are taking half. So this will be full damage from this.
It's only going to be like 4, though.
Of course,
He's going to
sure.
roll so bad.
Uh-huh. All right, so I'm knocked out of dog form.
So the BB's punch through Minerva. She falls to the ground, and what does it look like when you change shapes forcibly? I don't think you've ever had to do it forcibly before. It's always been kind of a choice up until now.
So like when I'm doing it controlled, it goes like slowly, part by part by part, like I'm concentrating on it. This is more jagged in a way. Like it looks almost like there's a tear kinda, and just a violent like knocking me down. So I think I do I come out prone? What position do I come out in?
You come out in the position. You come out in like a standing position. I mean, for aesthetics, you can come out in any position you would like, since this is technically a non-combat scenario. But in combat, you would come out in a standing position.
Okay. This is gonna knock me on my ass because it's the first time I've experienced it.
Absolutely. So there's a burst of smoke from the pile. The papers and small rusted cans and things like that just go flying, bricks and stuff. The BBs, the only reason that that specifically Hannah, Professor November, and the doctor would know they're BBs is because the fire escape that's right here, you can hear the metallic ringing, ding, 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 and you see the little punch marks in the back of the walls and things like that, and scrapes along the ground. They're all very small. There may be even a couple of the ball bearings or BBs at your feet as everything kind of clears up, and you see Minerva is forcibly knocked out. But this is very loud between the sound of the explosion and then the ball bearings or BBs bouncing around all over the place.
I think they set a trap.
Hannah, I'm going to give you the ability. I'm going to give you a. Actually, I'll give the doctor one as well. He does a lot of shopping. So Hannah and the doctor both can roll knowledge. We're going to do history if you're trained in it. If you're not, it would just be an intelligence. Okay, so the doctor and Hannah have both seen the same kind of thing, not in action, but had it described to them when they've shopped at some of the random shops around the garden. This was a proximity claymore mine, probably just tossed errantly because it blew up without a shape. Kind of blew up just up and away in all directions, so it's probably laying on its back. But between the ball bearings and the lack of fire from the explosion, this is almost assuredly a claymore mine, which is relatively heavy armament for what we're doing out here. Not something that's been seen very often, maybe once or twice in the last 10 or 15 years in the garden that you've been shopping.
Minerva shakily gets to her feet and is like, as I just finished typing, because I thought you were going to continue speaking for a little bit more, she's patting her side to check for wounds and finds that she doesn't have any when she popped out. Wait, does the 2 roll over to me or no? The 2 extra?
Yes, yeah. So any damage that knocks you out, any damage that's left after you're knocked out does roll over to you.
Alright, so much less wounds than I would have expected. She is noticeably confused, and then turns around and see Darian got the full brunt of it. Are you okay?
The wound that Darian had in his stomach that was not bleeding anymore from when he was bit by the Kalis, you see he's very white, and his shirt is just seeping blood, and there's a little pool kind of forming around his feet. He's like, I'm glad you're feeling all right, Miss Minerva. I think I got some of the things inside me. He's just trying to hold the giant gashing wound in his stomach closed with his hand.
I think it reopened up the wound. Let me take a look. I want to roll a medicine to see if I can make if this is some sort of I know in D&D terms you can travel at one hit point and it's fine, but I still want to see if this is something that he can walk around, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and give me a medicine. RRP medicine check. I'm fine with that. So it's a grievous. I mean, it's a substantial wound. It's coupled with the chunk that was taken out of his stomach before, and now you can see the ball bearings kind of embedded in the flesh a little bit. While it won't hinder him too much, he's very well built. It won't hinder him too much to keep moving. That you can see exposed sections of muscle and musculature, some of the bottom of his ribs. He's in really, really bad shape.
Let me take a look at that deer, and she's going to run her hand around the edges of the wound. And why does the spell not display? Something is up with these character sheets. I'm casting Cure Wounds. That's 1d8 plus spellcasting modifier. And the wound is gonna be noticeably less pale, but it's still open, just not leaking as much.
Yes, kind of a quicker scabbing. Some of the skin starts to grow back in around it, closing off, almost forming like a when they use that medical plastic in surgery to close wounds. It's almost like that. There's like a sheen over it. There's nothing spilling out any longer. It is spectacular field medicine, if nothing else. Minerva, go ahead and give me a D100. Let's stay above a 45. It is indeed above a 45. And Professor November, since it was your role that got us here, go ahead and you also give me a D100. This is on a table, though, so there's no wrong answer.
10.
Right. It is indeed a 10. Okay, so everybody hears off in the distance. It's hard to tell from which direction for most of the people here, but off in the distance you hear, Doctor, give me a survival check, because you're kind of out in the open with Alex. So, Doctor, you can pinpoint that sound is coming from south of you, relatively close.
One second. I got a phone call. Hold on.
Yeah. I can do some other descriptive stuff. Okay, so Minerva has buttoned up. Darian hears that sound. Darian and November and Hannah have also all heard it. Alex has also heard it, sees the doctor turn kind of around toward the south, and is taking up kind of a defensive position here. He pulls out both of his hammers and kind of looks back over at Hannah and then at Darian and Minerva. What are we doing? Do we want to be right here? You tell me.
They kept going to the north.
We should pursue them. Any battle here is just a distraction.
Minerva is going to put an arm around Darian and try and support him and help him walk a little faster. And make heavy use of her cane to help her with this. And start hobbling down the street to the north.
Sorry, I'm back. He would have alerted the group, and it looks like everyone's playing accordingly. So he's going to head north with everyone.
All right, so the party continues to move north. As they do so, Hannah, go ahead and give me. I'm going to close your sheet so we're not overlapping since you can roll now. Go ahead and give me a perception check, Hannah, since you're on the tail end. All right, so you see down here, and I'm just going to move the map accordingly. So down here, right beneath the fire escape, is a door that's been kind of nailed shut with like pieces of wood and stuff. It bursts open, and boop boop. Whilst the running continues, there's another, and not right there, but right here. These two walking corpses come spilling out of the building, kind of stumbling over each other into the street, and they are also sniffing and kind of looking around, and then they are shambling after you two, or after the party. Let's go ahead and go into just a soft initiative. This is not a combat initiative. This is going to be just like an action initiative.
And does only Hannah see that, or does everybody else see that at this point?
You're being supported by Minerva. I guess it kind of depends on.
Like?
Oh, it's after dawn, so there's
Okay.
not a lot of there's not a lot of distraction to be able to see outside of the moving that you're doing. So anybody who's kind of looking around would see it, but Hannah is the closest PC, which is why they are alerted first. Oh no. All right. 13. I'm going to add that. Bam.
Miss Minerva, do you ever have those days when you just wake up and you think, I should have just gone back to bed? Well, I'm starting to think today might have been one of those days.
I know how you feel, Darian. I didn't feel it when I woke up this morning, but the longer I stay out here, the more I feel I should have.
Yeah, the bigger this hole in my gut gets, I keep going back to that.
Stop touching it. You're only gonna make it get infected.
I'm trying to get the whatever that chunk of thing that came into me. I'm trying to get it out because it don't make me feel that good.
All right, Doctor, what are you up to?
Does it look like we're outpacing them or no?
Hard to say currently. All they've done is stumble out of the building. Well, I guess
But
technically since it's not combat initiative. So they are. Is anybody slower than a 30 base speed in the group?
I'm 25.
You're 25. Okay. So if you're 25, the group is technically a 25. I don't think they're going to leave you behind. Most groups move at the pace of their slowest member. So you are currently not outpacing these things. Even moving what would be the equivalent of double moving, these bodies are noticeably faster than you, and they are gaining ground.
Okay, then he'll kind of head up a little bit, and he'll let in. Well, now's not the time for sleep. I don't think we outrun these guys. Be prepared. And he will use one of his poisons to apply it to two of his darts. As his action.
All right. So with the doctor declaring that, I'm going to set us to actual combat initiative. Nobody is surprised or anything like that. Hannah.
So Henna is going to move 30 feet directly away from them, and she's also going to cast Firebolt. We need to get rid of these things quickly. But that is her turn. Matt, if you could move my token, please.
I got you moved. You said 30 feet away from the walkers, right?
Yes, correct.
All right. All right, so the firebolt arcs out. It does not make an impact. It hits the street a little short of them. All right, Minerva.
All right. She is going to load her sling with a stone and try and ping one of them from here. I think I'm at disadvantage from the distance. Yeah.
Yep, yeah. 30 feet, they are not. So 120, a 13 is actually not enough. So the stone flies, and it looks like it's on a pretty solid, true path, but at the last second, the momentum just fails and it drops kind of at the feet of these things as they're cruising along.
All right. Other than that, I'm going to imbue my walking cane with magical power with Shillelagh, the cantrip. And that will be it, because I'm out of wild shapes already.
All right, Alex is seeing that we're between seeing the little bit of offense that was taken and then the order from Hannah that we need to take care of these things quickly, is going to move to here and ready an attack if anything gets close enough. Darian, you are next.
Darian, hearing Hannah, will lift his arm off Minerva and go, thank you, Minerva. I think I should be. Well, I'm going to try and take it from here. And he kind of like slaps himself in the face a couple times, gets really pumped up, and then his eyes go dark gray, and he starts to walk forward. So as a bonus action, I will start to rage. And I will move 25 feet here and then throw my javelin at this one.
I'm glad you corrected glaive at the last second there. Go ahead and give me that javelin toss. All right. An 8. The javelin clatters just against the street. Again, another short shot.
That's all I got.
You almost yeeted a stop sign at the zombie.
I want him to stop. It would have worked, I swear.
I might have.
Anything else, Darian?
No, that's it.
November.
I'm going to step out in front of the bus stop and I pull out my snow globe and I rub it a little bit. And then I'm looking at Alex intently and then I'm looking at the K lists and I'm going to cast Minor Illusion. And I'm going to create an exact duplicate of Alex. It's going to just spring up from the ground. See if that'll somehow help. I really think we should be leaving! And that's my turn.
All right, red box. Alex is the duplicate. Alex. Alex kind of looks over. Oh, what the fuck, man?
Nothing to be afraid of.
Zombo number 1. All right, so this one, let's see here. So this one runs forward very quickly, almost down on all fours like an animal, but just the tips of the fingers kind of just giving it balance as it barrels towards Alex. It doesn't pick up as much speed as the last ones you fought, the headbutting ones, but it's almost like bounding across the ground. It gets close enough to Alex before it can actually do anything. Alex's ready will go off. So we will get that swing. Oh, it does connect. So Alex brings a hammer around as it's coming in. The momentum from the monstrosity and the strength behind Alex, a solid connection, punching a hole through the base of the jaw, like almost knocking the jaw clean off with the back end of the warhammer. And then this thing, they're relatively stupid. We're gonna give it a 1 is on a 1 or a 2 is on Alex, a 3 is on the clone. Oh, lucky ducky indeed. All right.
Beautiful. This clone cannot be interacted with, right? This is just No, it's just an illusion. This is a
optical.
cantrip, so.
Yeah, so this is the one that the moment they try and touch it, they realize that it is fake. So the first swing comes through, and it swipes through the clone, and the Kalis looks at its hand, and then comes up with a second hand up across Alex, or attempts to, rather. We'll see if it actually connects. It does not. The second one comes up. Alex bats it away with the back into the hammer, and the second one will come in and attack. Same kind of speed. This one's just going to be a 1 is Alex, a 2 is the clone. These are on Alex. So 2 attacks on Alex. Both claws come up and around. The 23 will hit. It is a crit. A big swipe across Alex's chest as he's recovering the hammer from blocking the last one. It scrapes up along the chest, across the neck, pulling flesh and stuff away, and kind of in one motion, the Kalis does that slash. The flesh and the gore still on the fingers. It just jams it into its mouth that almost opens too wide, even for the bone structure that you can see in the half-decayed skull. And it almost has a look of joy at the taste of blood. Herr Doctor.
Just get spaces. Okay, he'll step up and throw a poison dart at the one in front of real Alex. Excuse me, real Alex.
It does not connect. So it comes through and it hits a chunk of flesh, but instead of it burying in, the flesh actually is just kind of skimmed off of the body, and the creature does not even seem to notice.
Okay, that's his turn.
Hannah?
Seeing Alex get gored, essentially, and is going to scream, "No!" and walk forward, or move forward 15 feet while throwing a fireball. Moving towards them 15 feet, rather. To clarify, that is on the one that's in front of real Alex. If I can tell the difference, I assume I can, considering he just got cool.
Yes, yeah. The one with the gore on the hands is the one not in front of Alex, so they're very easy to tell apart. This firebolt connects. Where were you aiming? Just wildly to try and hit it, or anything specific?
Center of mass. The easiest place to hit.
Yep. So Alex hears Hannah call out, very accustomed to the combat tactics over the last few days, and does this little like shoulder duck, exposing the center mass of the creature, and the fireball blazes through, smashes into the chest. Smoke clears, and you can see this just gaping hole, the dripping black ooze coming down out of it and kind of collecting on the ground. You know, very gross. That was a good sound effect. So 10 damage here. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, and Minerva.
Minerva's going to quickly head over. It'll be helpful if I'm on the move thing. Behind the trash pile to get a better vantage point, and try to launch another stone at the zombie in front of Alex. And misses terribly.
Yep, not learning lessons from David and Goliath. Anything else?
No.
All right.
No, yell at Alex to retreat.
Telling Alex to retreat. Alex will heed said call, crosses the warhammers in front of him, and will take the disengage action. I can't much fight, Minerva, if you don't let me stay up there, but you know best. I ain't feeling so good. Darian.
Darian will stand here and he will hold his action until they come into range. The attack action.
Yes. I'm going to check one thing really quick just for for everybody's sake.
Are you wondering about rage?
I am wondering about
I would
rage.
lose it if I do not take any damage or I do not attack this round.
Yep, you'll definitely get a chance to attack. Okay, yeah. So for our newer viewers or listeners who aren't familiar with barbarians, they have that rage mechanic, and if they don't attack or take damage before the end of the round, they will lose that rage, and it is a very high commodity resource. So you're standing and readying an attack for something to come in range, correct?
Yep.
All right. And you have reach, so you're 10-foot range, right?
Yes.
Yeah, big stop sign. Professor November.
I will sidestep, and I will firebolt this one. He points his finger up like a gun and then pulls the trigger, and the firebolt comes out.
Another solid hit right above the hole that Hannah had knocked in. This takes a chunk of the neck, finishes removing the rest of the jaw that Alex had knocked loose, and what's left of the tongue and some sinew dangle out from the bottom of the partially bisected head. It's still standing, but it's losing a lot of flesh and a lot of this black goo. Anything else?
Hopefully it'll be a little bit quieter, and I will step back.
All right, Zombo number 1, just a 1 in 5 chance. So on a 1, it will still attack the clone. Anything else, it'll move forward and make decisions. Holy moly, look at that. So 1 swipe at the clone, does not like that it cannot hit it, and then it will charge forward. When it gets here, it will take the attack that is ready by Darian, who is baseball swing at hand. 25 definitely connects. Describe the kill, sir.
I do not wish to get bit by this thing, so as it's coming towards me, I am going clear for its mouth, and I'm like swinging, almost holding the edge of the stop sign, just trying to hit it as far away from me as possible. So I'm guessing I would just like take out its mouth.
So the whole bottom half of the head and chunks of the neck go flying. The body drops lifelessly to the ground. The rest of the head follows very quickly, but it's almost cartoony. The top of the head kind of stays put for just a second and then drops after the momentum has carried the bottom half of the face and head and the top half of the neck away. The second one, I can delete that. That's smarter. The second one, seeing this, flies into a frenzy. And it will dive directly into Darian. This will be, double check the actions on this one. All right, so this one's going to be this one's tasted blood. So this is going to claw first at Darian. Does not connect. And then as it follows the claw from, the deflection or the miss, it comes in with a full mouth of teeth, bites and misses. Darian and the doctor both have the opportunity to take an attack of opportunity in melee. Darian capitalizes and takes a big chunk out of the shoulder.
Not to be that guy, but no, he readied an action, right? So that's not a reaction.
Yeah.
Yep, I just readied an action for when it came to me.
Yeah. I understand now. For some reason, I was thinking that it used up your reaction. But
you are actually that guy. It does use the reaction. I am ridiculous. You have to react to use the trigger, so you are correct. Darian will not have one until it actually gets to his turn. The doctor can take a melee swing, though, a punch or a kick or something.
Nah,
holding an action takes a reaction?
Well, so, the trigger is the reaction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ready in action uses your reaction to actually execute. So you sacrifice a reaction to get a full the attack ability.
Okay.
He will take out his the metal extendable teacher pointer that he uses as his rapier, and he'll slash with it.
Heavy slash. Where does the doctor normally strike with this very precise weapon?
Straight across the neck.
So straight across the neck, it indeed goes, capitalizing on the veracity of this thing. Takes out the Adam's apple and chunks of the trachea. So there's bone and that black blood kind of scatter across the ground, following the trail of your metal extended teacher pointer. Anything else?
No, that's my reaction. Oh,
and your turn.
Now it's my turn. The other one's down, so no sense backing up. He'll just attack again.
A second slash again at the neck?
Yeah. Actually, well, depends. Is when they get hit, do they feel pain in the sense that he would then be like clutching his?
They react to the strikes when they take actual damage, but they don't seem to be showing pain. It's just they're losing body mass, but they're driven by one thing and one thing alone, and it looks like that is probably hunger.
Then he'll hit him in the same spot.
So the first slash coming around, taking advantage of the exposed area, cuts across one way, and in a quick reaction, just the doctor whips it back across, nearly severing the head. It's almost hanging to the side. More of the black goo, and now instead of the standard like moaning and groaning, it's a gurgle, but it's still flexing its mouth and everything, hands out trying to claw. Anything else? I'm gonna take that as a no. Hannah Hirscharn.
Hannah's gonna snarl, "Fucking die!" as she throws another bolt of fire at the one in front of the doctor.
Hannah and her fit will actually miss. The tilted head, not in the position that it should have been, is the only reason that it doesn't connect. And the bolt flies just past, searing the skin a little bit, and nothing more. Anything else?
Hannah's gonna do 5 feet diagonally away from the creature. But that's all.
All right. Minerva.
She is going to load another pebble into her sling and is going to mutter a little prayer before slinging it off.
The prayer works, and the stone connects. Let's see some damage. Felling Goliath. Go ahead and describe for me.
It goes straight through an eye socket into the cranial cavity, and it kind of just crumples like the dragon at the Battle of Winterfell.
All right. Nobody is safe. Again, mature, so you're not safe from gore or spoilers.
It's been 3 weeks.
It has, yeah. Combat will come to a close here for that. And you have 2 dead Kaelists, a heavily wounded Alex, and a pissed off Darian. Everybody give me perceptions. These are auditory. Darian and the doctor here. Minerva and the professor do not. Hannah also hears. There are a couple of gunshots, no more than a few blocks away, north and to the west.
That must be our prey. Quickly, we should catch up to them.
How bad does Alex and Darian look?
Well, Darren is currently vomiting on the ground.
And Alex is just barely holding himself up.
I'm going to put a hand on Alex's shoulder and cast Cure Wounds on Alex. Again, why do my spell cards not work? For 5 whole hit points of damage.
I've got the big one. Sorry to interrupt. I thought you were done.
No worries.
You two cannot jump right into it anymore. You're too weak. Stay in the back. Throw rocks or cement if you have to. Just don't get involved. You're so close to death. Fucking hell. You shouldn't even be moving.
Actually, my wounds keep, closing up, and that hurt a lot, Professor. I really don't. Minerva's is just so nice and gentle, and you're just like, oh god, it's seizing up and feeling the pain again. But I'm feeling a bit better. The bleeding has seemed to stop, so I think I should be okay for at least one more go today.
Just don't get shot, and I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow that plan perfectly. I swear.
I think the key here is to get the gun away from the man.
All right, so the party is moving towards the gunshots, correct?
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Jeff, go ahead and give me a D100. This is a table again. Meaning there is no wrong answer.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what am I looking for?
-1.
Treasure.
73. Okay, so the party moves quickly, dodging through alleys to get over to the west, and then up a couple more streets. Let's see what we got here. Oh, nice. So I'm using, just while I'm doing this, while I'm loading, I am using the premium assets pack. So you're going to see some police people show up on the map. These are from the premium Roll20 kit. So these come with Roll20 if you pay, I think, $20 a month for the premium. It gives you a bunch of like spell effects and lighting that I wish I used more, but I'm more interested in the narrative. And then it comes with a whole mess of different tokens and stuff to use. So the party comes around a corner and they can see backs turned toward them. The two guards, they are engaged in what looks like the tail end of combat with boop, boop, boop. Oh, not a man holding a fish. That would be ridiculous. So they're involved in some combat with what looks like other people. But on the other side of them, there is... Well, if this will load... Ooh, Roll20 is a little finicky today. I apologize. All right, so just to set the stage here for everybody. There is the two guards. They are definitely armed. They have like a duffel bag slung over on their shoulder. One of them is carrying the combat shotgun. I'm going to tent this up a little bit so we can see it a bit better. So one's carrying the combat shotgun. Another one has a pistol out. They're fighting a couple of dirty people. One of them is on the ground bleeding very heavily. The other one is swinging a crowbar. And beyond those two that are fighting them, there is a man very well dressed in a suit. Just kind of watching. He's back a little bit further. And there is a very large man wielding a pretty heavy axe. Is just pulling it out of the one on the ground that is bleeding so badly. The man in the suit behind is holding a torch
Does the very large man look like the one that we saw on our way to about 2 sessions ago?
Looks very similar, but not. It does not look like the same one. Does have the same kind of build, like very large, wielding a very heavy weapon. Does have a bag slung over his shoulder as well, but this one doesn't have a mask on, the gas mask like the other one did. This one is just quite large, very mean-looking man. Darian is what, like you said, 6? He's like 6'8", something like that.
7'5".
Oh, that's right, 7'5". I was thinking Alex. Alex is 6'6", looking at the sheet here. Okay, so he's not as tall as you, but he's probably just as wide. He's 6'10", 6'11", just shy of 7 foot tall. But the axe that he's swinging with one hand looks like it would normally be swung by two hands by just about anybody else. Party... Well, actually... We'll do it this way. Remove turns there. We'll just go ahead and be initiative. You don't have to perform combat actions. You can just do stuff, but we're going to do it in turn order.
A natural one.
Natural wonder.
Natural wonders. In the house tonight.
Yeah, that's 2 natural ones already.
I still have both of my portent die.
Oh yeah, don't you have a crit saved up?
I do.
But,
I shouldn't have
would you be able
spoiled
to-
that. I'm sorry.
No, it's good.
I will, yes.
I honestly didn't realize that it could be a crit.
Can you press the button, Dylan? And I can then just add it in.
The guys that we are chasing, is that the lower two?
It is. That is the guards.
Usually when you press the button and you don't have a token selected, it gives you an error message.
Oh, that's fair. Dylan, what's your dexterity modifier?
I know that better than anyone.
+2.
Natural wonders in the house, baby.
3 nat ones in this order. All right. So as the party comes up and around, Darian, you'll be the first to act.
Just an FYI real quick, my food is here. It should be back by the time my turn comes up.
Oh, great.
Yeah, just let you know.
Thank you.
Darian will put his glaive away. He will pull out his shield and his small light hammer, and he will move to the front of the group and hold the shield up, like kind of. He's a very large man, so he's trying to slump over and make this very tiny shield cover as much of his major vitals as he can. So I will be using the dodge action.
Big fan of the dodge action. All right. So move and dodge.
Yep, that's the end of my turn.
Back up here towards these two. The shotgunner. Doot, doot, doot. Whew. I pulled open my key for stuff, but I was on the wrong page, and it was stats for a Solar, which is a CR21 creature. Not what we want to be up against right now.
We can take it.
All right. Okay. So, the combat shotgun guard will... He turns the shotgun over, looks at it. Looks like he's actually relatively familiar with this, probably former military or police. Turns it over and checks the chamber, turns it back over, and we'll take a shot at the crowbar-wielding woman. This is +4. An 11 does not hit. So the shotgun shot rings out, but the buckshot does not separate. It stays together from the packing, and it just goes over her shoulder. They get 2 attacks. So, excuse me. He'll chamber a second round and fire. Still misses. The guide with the axe will come in and also swing. Oop. This is at +6. So his attack, on the other hand, comes down hard on the back, or across this girl's back. She is not paying attention. And she is actually dropped. Minerva.
Minerva is going to walk up to Hannah's side and, what would you like us to do? Are we interfering? Are we trying to stop this? Are we going to join in?
Where's the sniper?
I'm going to look around for a sniper.
Perception.
Damn.
Wow.
So, looming about 6-7 blocks away, to the north beyond where you are all headed, is a 8-story tall building, and on the roof you actually see the glint of of glass, potentially a scope or something to that effect.
I'll point it out. A couple blocks that way on the building, the one with the mostly intact window.
I see it.
Anything else?
I'm waiting for orders. If I'm told to move forward, if I'm told to move anywhere by anyone, preferably Hannah, I will move.
Sounds good. Doctor.
I'm just saying, are we sure this is Emily here? We're talking perception check.
This is true. I am a little stunned as well.
Joking aside, I did just get back. I'm not sure. I must have missed some of the what's kind of going on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So a little recap real quick. So the party came up around the corner. They see this fight going on. The 2 guards, armed to the teeth and with a duffel bag slung over the one with the shotgun, were fighting 2 ruffians. And just beyond them is a large man, just a little smaller than Darian, wielding a very large axe with one hand, and then a very well-dressed, in a suit man just holding a torch high currently. Beyond that, and the guards shot at the girl and missed, but then the man with the axe cleaved her in twain.
Okay, so the people that I'm sorry, the girl is one that was with the people that stole the guns.
No, it looks like they were fighting them. They look
okay.
like they're probably ashers. They're very grubbily dressed, and they were she was wielding a crowbar. The other one's on the ground, bleeding to death. He doesn't look like he has any weapons.
Okay, so it looks like the axe guy is with the ones that stole the guns. Or are we not seeing anyone that we'd recognize with the guns?
It looks like they may be helping them, but these 2 are definitely this. They look a lot like the other speakers and guardians that move around from the Church of Victory.
Oh, that explains why we were talking about sniper. A little bit of a loss what to do. He'll just move up a little bit tighter with the group, and he'll kind of echo Minerva's sentiment. What's the play here?
Anyone have an idea as to what the signal is for the sniper to fire?
Thankfully, we haven't seen that yet.
Maybe something with a torch. It'd be an easily seen signal.
It could be when the torch goes out.
That would make also some sort of phonetic scent? No, wait, the Church of Victory, not the Church of the Light. Ignore me.
The only
Doctor,
two things
any actual actions?
No, he still has a poison dart, so he's gonna just hold on to that.
All right. The pistol-wielding guard. He turns and he sees you all, and he kind of stumbles back, almost falls over the body. So he'll stumble back. Those are the ones. They're trying to kill us. They won't let us leave. Protect us. We beg you, in the name of the church. Professor November.
I am going to sprint. And I'm smiling as I'm running, and he runs very weak. Like, picture his arms like swinging, like kind of, I don't know, very animated as he runs. He like stops for a second in the middle of the street, and then takes a deep breath, and then keeps running, and then I just press myself up flat up against the wall. That's my turn.
Hannah.
Do I see how the speaker reacts at all?
He's just watching. He was mostly watching the guard as he kind of stumbled backwards. But as he said, those of them protect us. He kind of looks up. He looks very calm. He doesn't look aggressive by any means. But no other real reaction.
Hannah says quietly to the group, I'm going to take a bit of a risk in diplomacy. Anyone have any good ideas within the next 2 seconds?
Minerva will shake her head.
Good, just tell them the truth.
Hannah will step out non-threateningly. I imagine there's a stark difference between Hannah and November's approach out of the alley. She'll raise her hands up about chest level. Speaker of the church, may I approach and parley with you?
He holds his torch. He holds his torch high still, and he looks at you, and then back towards the guard that has stumbled, and then the other one with the shotgun. And he holds his finger to his throat, just like his middle finger on his empty hand. He holds that to his throat, and then he speaks out. Approach with peace. No more blood needs to be shed. And his voice kind of just echoes through the alleyway, like down the streets, through the alleyways, augmented and elevated by some unseen source. He's not holding a megaphone or anything like that. It is potentially magic. I think. No, I don't. None of you have thaumaturgy, right?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So we'll say you haven't seen this before, but it's there was no, it was a simple hand gesture and then just touching his own throat that kind of elevates his voice to substantial volume. So you may approach, you may speak, no more blood needs to be shed.
Thank you, Speaker. As a thank you gift for this parley, I would like to reach in my bag and give you that gift. And she'll slowly reach out and pull out the salt she has. Thank you. And she'll hold it out to him as she walks until she's about 10 feet from him to begin discussion.
Yes. Excuse me, before we progress any further, is anyone going to take aggressive action? Speak now or have initiative wiped? You will be able to later. I'm just asking if we need to stay in initiative order for this parlay.
All I'm doing is loading a pebble.
Ready for action. That is more than fair.
I'm just still holding my shield up.
Shaking the snow globe, baby.
So plenty of ready. Alex is also ready. Hammers out and kind of in an aggressive stance, but enough looseness to show that there's not an attack coming. All right, so I'm going to wipe the initiative here. All right, so Hannah holds the salt out and starts to approach.
I'll be coming with because I don't look very threatening, I'm sure.
Absolutely understandable. And the offer was salt, correct?
Yeah, specifically, she has 1.62 pounds. It is the bag that holds 0.62 pounds.
Fantastic. Still a notable amount of salt, nonetheless. Every grain offering of yours, moreover, you shall season those around you with salt, so that the salt of the covenant of your God shall not be lacking from your grains of offering. With all your offerings you shall offer salt, and we shall abide. Speak, but know this, should your offering be soured by blood or coarse words, and he holds his torch just a little higher, the light shall be extinguished, not only from this place, but from your journey.
Hold it.
Understood, Speaker. I do not wish to give you sour words, but we have been accused of something vile in front of your presence, and I would like to correct that and allow you to judge which one of us is in the wrong here.
He holds his hands. He holds the one hand kind of in front of him, almost in that kind of meditative stance. You know, the hand straight up and down, like in front of his chest. Judgment shall be normally reserved for the Lord, but, and he looks around, we find ourselves in a predicament where the Lord's judgment cannot be passed so quickly. Please, come forward, bring your offering. And he motions with that empty hand towards the larger man to step forward, and he does take a couple steps forward. Your offering, and then your words.
To clarify, was that to Hannah?
Yes.
Hannah will step forward and give the full bag of salt to the speaker.
Bypassing the large man or giving it to the large man?
Oh, my apologies. I misunderstood. Giving it to the large man, then. I thought for some reason you meant one of the men.
Gotcha. Nope, that's okay. All right, so the large man, holding the axe kind of over his shoulder, holds out his hand and takes the salt. He does not put it in his bag. Give me a perception check, Hannah.
Ooh.
So the man the large gentleman in front of you smells of spices. Excuse me, spices, sweat and blood, but the bag smells terrible. Rotting flesh. Who knows what else? It is grotesque, if nothing else. Because of the 20, you're quite adept. It doesn't smell like rotting flesh. It is definitely rotting flesh in the bag. You've smelled it many times. This is no different.
So it is like the K lists we've been fighting.
Yes.
Okay.
So he takes the salt. You smell the spices on him and the sweat, but then the decaying flesh in the bag. Takes the salt and he steps back towards the speaker, kind of sidestepping. He keeps his eyes on you, but walks in that direction. And he hands the salt, or he puts the salt on the ground, the bag of salt on the ground in front of the speaker, and then he steps back forward to these two bodies, and he looks back at the speaker, who just gives a short shake of the head. Now, your offering has been received. Your words are your next gift.
Do you appreciate short explanations or full details, speaker? I know different people expect different.
Words are but another gift. If they can be given more life by more detail, I welcome it. However, we also walk amongst this concrete jungle. Horrors wander the streets, as he kind of motions down to the two bodies on the ground in front of the large man. And violence pursues all of us. Tribulation haunts us. Choose your words carefully but descriptively, please. A small smile crosses his face as he says this.
A balance, then. We are residents of the garden, and once there, me and my companion, and she motions to November, met a man who lost his mind in the, as you say, streets of the concrete jungle around us. We attempted to understand his story and pushed too hard, and he hurt himself. The garden's authorities took him in and were questioning him. He was part of a raiding party looking for the weapons those two men hold. Those men were guards in the garden. They were tasked with protecting that man and making sure that he was able to stand trial and say who hurt him, if anyone, including if it was us. Instead, they hurt one of their companions, fled the garden with this man, and found those guns. They killed him not a few hours ago. Shot him with that shotgun, destroying his head. My livelihood is on the line unless I could prove to the garden I was not part of those actions. Those men are liars and they are murderers, and I wish to see at least my name cleared for their wrongdoing.
He looks to the guards, who look back. They don't offer a contest to your story. They remain silent, but they do look a bit somber. And then the speaker, one of them opens their mouth, and the speaker holds his open hand up, keeping the other one, the torch high. And he silences him with a motion. If what you speak is true, I am most sorry. I am humbled by your experiences. I am saddened by your risk, but you come from a place of great sin. The garden is no place for gifts for humanity. You should be residing amongst the faithful, as these two, and he motions to the two guards, have pledged to do so quickly. Yes, I understand it was in their best interest, pursued not only by you, but as we came upon them, struggling against these two heathens. God looked upon the earth, and he saw that it was filled with violence. It is only through his grace that we can find peace and atone for everything that we have done. How may we atone this situation for you.
The church has always been an interesting thing for me, Speaker. I cannot say I am faithful yet. It is a hard world, as I'm sure you know. However, it is something I have wanted to learn in my short time here. I hesitate to say you can trust these men. They lied after they swore oaths to protect what, yes, a sinful place, as you say, but they swore that oath to protect it and ran as soon as it was in their best interest. I worry when they might turn against the faithful. I do not know how far my faith can bring me in a short time, but I am interested to learn more if you are willing to teach and be patient with one trying to understand what it means to step away from sin.
As you finish saying that, the large man actually kneels down, and he has gripped the back of the axe head, and he's just pushing it through the neck of this felled asher, is what they look like. You can smell the soot even as you're closer now. So he pushes the head of the axe down through the neck, and he's pulled the head up, and he's shoving it in the bag as you finish saying that. And the speaker notices this as well. Oaths and promises made to men are but nothing. Abraham made an oath to his son. Abraham made an oath to men. But when God called upon Abraham and asked for an oath to the Lord, it stood high above all others, even his own blood. These two have pledged themselves, and yes, there will be recompense and purity training for them for where they have come from with their lives. But they seek salvation. I would urge you to do the same. Come with us. We can take you back to our enclave. We can resolve all of this, and you will be welcomed with open arms.
And there is only full agreement with the church. There is no learning as one goes. I do not know the ways.
Acceptance of this offer is acceptance of not only your Lord and God, but of the church itself. Should you pass through our doors, you will be one of our own children.
Perhaps you could. And I stick my head out. Hi there. Perhaps you could just strip them and baptize them here and leave their worldly possessions behind and allow them to walk with you in their grace and exalt in your Lord's presence as newborn men. Yes, just, they can take off the armor and leave the guns behind because they won't be needing them. And then we'll go about our way, and you can go about yours. And then I dart my head back around the corner, and I look back at the rest of the party, and I give them a thumbs up.
Your companion hides as Adam and Eve hid in the garden. He is afraid. He is naked. He hides himself from the light. Please, step forward. If you wish to sup with us, if you wish to speak, we must know you are there.
I stick my head back out.
Do you mind if I say something?
Please, I welcome it. As I have said, words are gifts.
Well, as I remember it back in Sunday school, talking about Adam and Eve and trust and such, these two lowlives here are almost like the serpent within the garden. If you allow them to whisper within your ears, you may ruin the paradise that you have started.
A man blessed with knowledge. This is quite a gift in and of itself. Forgiveness is not upon us to pass. Judgment, although we will be conducting it here in the streets or back at our enclave, is ultimately up to a higher power. Father God hath forgiveness to give, and these words are not ours to give in finality. So, I will ask once more, how can we resolve this? You may come with us, or we can finish it now, and we will take our new brothers and sons back with us. And as he's saying this, the large man is separating the head of the woman now and putting it into the bag as well.
I'm trying not to look at that. It's gross. How about this? If you were looking at the two officers or the guardmen, if you truly wish to go with them, you certainly can, but you have any identification we can bring back, and we will tell them that you are not coming back. That is all they required of us, was to either bring you back or bring proof that you will not be coming back to the garden. If you are truly giving up on your home and repenting of the sin, then you won't be needing that when we can bring it back and everyone here can leave happy.
The speaker looks to the two guards. You have been offered reprieve by your pursuers. Proof of your communication with them, proof of your relegation, of your abstination from that place of wickedness, is all that you must do. So saith your pursuers. And the guards kind of look at each other. The shotgun wielder moves a little closer. He comes around. He kind of leans in and talks to the other guy. They look kind of over themselves, and they both reach up on their sleeves, like up under their vests, and you hear tearing. The speaker is looking at them a little weird. The large axe man, he looks on guard as he stands back up, watching them very closely to see what they're doing. But they both kind of tear. You hear the tearing of fabric and metal scraping, and they both toss out one after another their guard badges from the garden. And you can see as the metal bounces across the street, the glint, you can see names carved in them as well. These are all we have. We'll go on our way. We got what we came for. Like this man said, there needs to be no more blood. We are on a new path. And he kind of looks back over to the speaker. And the speaker responds with a nod and looks to you all.
That does work for me as well. Speaker, I did speak true. While I am still unsure, and she looks directly at the axeman cutting off people's heads in the street, very, knowingly, and then looks back at the speaker, not saying it directly, but clearly indicating that. I am still unsure. However, if I was to visit your church to learn more, can I reference that our meeting went well, that we parted as someone. I want to part with you as someone that you have convinced this is something I may want to pursue. I spoke true, and I would like to keep that relationship open.
So he gives a nod. You may take your journey, follow the footsteps of those before you in which it would carry you. When you seek us out, look to the steeples of St. Patrick's. That is where we reside. And know this, and he looks also at the axeman who is finishing stuffing the woman's head in the bag, nearly overflowing. He's having trouble closing it back up even. We shall punish the world for its evil, and the wicked for their inequity. They cause arrogancy, and they bring pride to those that follow them. They shall be hunted in the streets, they shall be ground into the dirt beneath our heels, and we shall bring proof to our brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, of every one of them that we have purged.
She nods slowly, maintaining eye contact with him. The Lord is forgiving, and yet the Lord is punishing.
Righteous in his punishment. You have what you have come for. We have acquired what we have searched for as well. And he steps up behind these two, waves his torch in a circle, and it goes out, and he puts it on his hip, and he puts his hands on both of the guards' shoulders. They kind of jump a little bit at this, but they're more worried about you all than these two. We will take our separate path. You will allow us to exit again. No blood needs to be shed, and he kind of touches just the back of the large man. Fire shall not rain from the sky this day, and he relights his torch and holds it up. And all will be at peace, even more so once you make your final journey to the Cathedral of St. Patrick.
Thank you, Speaker.
I'm gonna step out. You might want to be careful there, Speaker. There's these things that are dead bodies walking around, and I heard they were called K-lists. And he looks directly at his eye when he says it for any spark of recognition.
He does indeed wince at the sound of the word K-list. We have seen them move through the streets. We do not travel at night. The birds come down upon dead carcasses, and they are normally driven from the land, consumed by the natural order. But something is amiss. They rise, they walk. Some of the old texts say that when there is no more room in hell, the dead shall walk the earth. And we fear that this time has come. This is not the end, friends. This is only the beginning.
Yes, they multiply. That's what Remy said. Remy was the guy that those two guys killed.
He places another hand on the pistol-wielding guard, who still has his pistol kind of out and drawn, shaking a little bit. Yes, their trespasses will be judged. No man shall take the life of another man. This will be weighed against what they have done, but they will be safe. We would ask now that we part our ways, you on whatever journey you have undertaken, and we back from whence we came.
Travel safe, Speaker.
He gives a half bow, with a nod, keeping the torch as high as he can as he, lowers his body at the waist, and then he rises. Come, and he motions the other two to walk. The two guards get up in front of him, and they start walking, kind of looking over their shoulder. The large man waits for them to take a few steps, and he watches and puts the axe back up over his shoulder, and he turns to start walking away as well.
Arrivederci.
I think right here is a great place, actually, for our mid-session break. So we're going to take a break for 15 minutes. We'll come back at 20 after the hour, and we will pick back up with what looks like a little RP, maybe some travel, things like that. The 2 badges have been collected. Hannah can put those in her inventory. So enjoy I was going to say relaxing, but I think these tunes are a little more epic. So enjoy the epic adventure tunes from taketones.com as we take this break. welcome back from that much needed short break. Hopefully everybody is refreshed, has a drink, used the bathroom, all that good stuff. Not only our players, but our viewers, either now live in Twitch or on YouTube in the future. Remember, if you want to join us live for Rhapsody, we play nearly every Friday starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/missjinxed. If you are watching on YouTube, of course, that link will be down in the description below. You can also check out our Discord for updates, RP, player chats, and even some off-topic stuff where we talk about pop culture and all that kind of stuff. You can type in !D&D in the Twitch channel, or again, that information is in our description down below. The music that you heard during the break was from Max Tunes at taketones.com. And we are playing, like I said, Rhapsody, a 5th edition game. We're playing in the Roll20 client, so that we play all over the continent. This allows us to do that. You can start your free account today at roll20.net. Sign up and play with your friends across hundreds of different types of tabletop games. We're also sponsored by Inked Gaming and Team Rankstar. You can go to inkedgaming.com and use code TRS12 for 12% off your final purchase. You can get all kinds of gaming stuff. Check them out. I'm not going to go through it like we did in the beginning. Our last thing, obviously, is you can follow me on Twitter, at MantedMan, and all that kind of stuff. Minerva's making funny jokes. They can indeed pause the video and do whatever the hell they want. So back to the action. We have just, the party has just come up onto the tail of the guards. They were stuck in a fight, but they had a little backup from a speaker of victory and his envoy. They got through that altercation with the offerings of words and salt, and they have the proof that they think they need to get back into the garden so that Hannah does not lose her livelihood. And we're going to pick up back in the streets just as the speaker, the envoy, and the 2 guards have left. They have left behind those badges. So I will let all of you take it away.
For creepy folk, they do tend to stick to their word and be reasonable.
Did you see what he did with his torch?
No, I was not paying attention. What did he do?
Well, he circled it around his head and then he let it out. And then the guy didn't shoot his gun. So.
But he let it go back up. Regardless, I think we should get out of this street as quickly as possible.
So that's it. I guess we won, except Remy's dead.
Did we bring anything of Remy's? I don't think we had much time.
I don't know if there's any identifying Remy. And I don't know if this is 1 November. Let's get into an alley so we can talk, please.
It's only a few blocks back to the safe house. Would you like to go there?
I just don't want the sniper in the building across the way to be able to shoot us if it won.
Good idea. And the professor starts running.
That old arm flail run still.
Yeah, it's a very awkward.
Hannah will pick up the 2 badges and then head towards the alley she just came out.
Sure. So the party's easily able to get to just a little side alley. There's not anything of note in it, but you do have the 2 badges and are now in a kind of a protected area. Covered definitely from that building that the sniper is or was at least in.
The damn dragon is back.
What?
Oh, nothing.
So really, Hannah, this is mostly for you. Are you going to be okay with this outcome?
Well, yes. I didn't expect to get them. Yeah, I owe you one. I owe you. Oh, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Good thinking, Minerva, on the whole, you being a dog thing. I don't. Honestly, it was far better than the plan that I thought of, and I know I couldn't attract as good because that sniffer was really helpful.
It's a strange thing to plan around now, knowing that I can do this. It opens up so many doors. But I appreciate the compliment.
Did you feel younger when you were the dog?
I don't know how age feels to a dog.
I think it was like
couldn't quite
times
rightly
6.
say.
It was fascinating when you came out of it. Much different transformation.
Well, I'll tell you, it felt like a much different transformation, to be sure.
What did it feel like?
It felt like being forcibly ripped asunder, but then immediately like feeling fine.
It's kind of like how it feels when the doctor heals you.
I will have to take your word for that.
It's not pleasant. Not pleasant at all. No offense, doctor. It's useful, but it hurts like a chimney.
Results are what matter.
Darren kind of lifts up the shirt, and the wound is like still there, but it's a more closed up now. In the long run, I have to agree, but still, it makes me almost want to cry like a little girl every time.
I wish I could say it gets easier, but I'd be lying to you.
Do we want to go back and search that safe house and make sure they didn't leave anything behind, or did you all guys do that while you were upstairs?
We spent all of 10 minutes there. I think it would be worth it to go back.
To the safe house? Or
Who
to
knows how
the...
safe it is now? We've kicked in the door.
The loft, I think we're talking about,
Oh.
whatever that was.
Yes.
You okay, Hannah? You gonna be all right?
Yes, I'm fine. You're the one that got ripped open. Don't worry.
All right. This just seems to be coming to be a normal, common occurrence every day. Feeling better. Once again, thanks to Minerva and the doctor, but it still feels all funky. Kind of smells a lot. There's a little bit of blackness to it. Probably should get that checked out when we get back to the guard.
Yes, of course.
Darren is keeping and like walking away, but he is keeping a very close eye on Hannah.
I think we should move quickly.
As we're walking, can I look around, see if there are any more K-lists around? I guess because they did catch up to us from the direction we were coming.
Absolutely. We're actually going to roll for that. So it sounds like the party said they were going back to the police safe house, correct?
Yes.
I thought we were going back to the loft where we first were attacked.
The place where we ended last session.
Yeah, the place where you found Remy and the guards originally, where they escaped from.
Yes, sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
know that was a police safe house.
Yeah. Former police safe house. That's why there was guns in a hidden basement. Yeah. So, let's see if there is anything else. I don't think Darian has rolled yet. Darian, give me a D100. Stay above a 25, please.
Why would you do this to the party?
Hey, man. You stayed above a 25. I didn't do anything. You did something good for the party, and you
First
kept it
time
easy.
ever.
All right. So the party makes their way back to the safe house. Minerva, give me a perception since you're looking down a little further away from the areas that you're walking through. So you keep a pretty sharp eye out, kind of looking down different alleyways and down streets and stuff as you guys cross them. You don't see any sign of other life or unlife walking around. You don't see anything else moving through the streets as you continue down, and the party makes it back to the loft, the police loft, and Remy's body is still headless and on the floor on the ground level. The hole in between the two floors, obviously still there. So you're back at that place. I can actually even do this just in case it matters for you. I'll get rid of some of these X's and things like that. So carry on.
I guess we go to Remy's body on the second floor, or is it the first floor?
Fell through to the first floor, so it's on the ground in that kitchenette kind of area.
Minerva's going to bend down and start searching the body. She's not cavalier about it, but she's not as... She's seen death before. She's interacted with not as violently dead people as this, but she's no stranger to it. So she's going to be confident while she's looking for any sort of identification.
So there's nothing on Remy. The pockets have been turned out on his little burlap pants. So it looks like the body's already been rifled through.
All right. I don't.
Yeah, I
need
had already gone through his pockets there.
Oh,
Yeah, they're empty pockets.
Man, I'm gonna head upstairs to the room where they were originally holding up, and just look to see if I can find.
Sure. So there's splinters of wood and like newspapers and stuff all over. Some plastic bags that they had been covering the window and stuff with. Go ahead and give me an investigation. And a D6 plus 1. One moment. What is everybody else doing while I pull this up here?
I don't mean to be macabre, but we could take a hand? Does the garden keep fingerprints?
As you ask that out loud, Darian, Minerva, the doctor, and the professor, everybody give me a history.
I'm upstairs, so I don't know if I would hear her, but I'll make it.
Oh yeah, that's true. You are upstairs, and November's downstairs, so it'd just be Minerva and Darian. They have taken fingerprints a couple of times before. Kind of as you ask that, you think you maybe have heard something. Darian has seen people pulled from the washways, and they've taken fingerprints. It's not so much a fingerprint as it is essentially like a whole handprint that they can kind of match up on people. but that would kind of register with you as she asked that question out loud. All right, 69, 30, 96. Hey, look, one from each of the first. So you find, Doc, you find two jacketed rounds and a shotgun round. Looks like they probably fell out of the bag while they were packing up quickly. So you have one shotgun shell and two jacketed rounds for like a sidearm or a rifle or something like that.
Okay. Can I search the other room with my metal detector?
You can, yes. I am redesigning this right now, so I'm going to give you a sweep just in all the squares around you. Give me 1 second to pull that up. Give me an investigation as well. And a D10. Yeah, D10 and then a D12, Doc. All right, a 5 and a 10. Professor November, so you search the safe. It is indeed bolted to the floor with like heavy anchor bolts. But even if it wasn't, the safe easily weighs like 1.5 tons. It's quite large and very thick.
So it's a massive gun safe. Jesus.
Yes. Yeah, a strong box safe.
Can I determine how it was opened? Was it the code or was the lid blown off?
It does not look like it was forcibly opened. It looks like it was opened either with a code or by a safecracker or something like that. Hard to say. But there's no signs of struggle on it. Nothing bent, nothing broken, no cuts or anything like that.
Okay.
All right. With your metal detector, Doc, you do find in that room, just amongst the garbage, there's like food wrappers and rusted cans and things like that. You move all that stuff aside and you kind of are flipping around through. You do find a set of handcuffs actually in that room. No key with them, but they are open, like standard style handcuffs. You can put it. I mean, yeah, handcuffs is fine. They'll use the stats as manacles, but they're a little more modern, obviously.
Okay. He'll go. Actually, they ran out through the other house, right? Is our current theory? Either way,
yes.
he'll pop through the I guess I forget what it was, like a window or like some sort of they like broke down a wall to the other house next door.
Yeah, they just cut a hole in the drywall right here that goes to the second floor of the adjacent townhouse.
Yeah, so he'll do that and then search.
Give me a D100, and then follow that with an investigation check. Are you searching or metal detecting or what?
Yeah, metal detector.
Okay, just make sure you mark off your battery charges. D100, D12, D10, then D12.
Oh.
Yep, I got the investigation as well. I figured you were rolling that. So searching through the room that it looks like they ran through here, you don't find much of anything outside of like trash and stuff, but your metal detector does go off one more time as you get close to the window. It looks like one of them had a pocket knife, actually. Most of the tools, it's just a regular like fixed blade, or not fixed blade, just a swing blade pocket knife. It doesn't have any of their tool stuff on it. It needs a little bit of work to be functional, but it is indeed a decently sized pocket knife that you find on the ground, statted like a dagger for all intents and purposes. It'll just need to be repaired before it can be used. It broke the clip off. It looks like it got hung on the window when they were jumping out, and it broke the clip off and messed up the hinge to actually open it. What's Hannah and Darian doing outside?
Hannah's inside. She's leaned up against the wall on the bottom floor, just flipping one of the badges in her hand over and over, feeling it, looking.
Left or right, Minerva?
Does anyone know what his dominant hand was?
Why don't we just take his head? Oh, it was blown off, wasn't it?
Yes.
You know what? Let's just be safe. And I just chop off both hands.
You have the left and right hand of what is presumed to be Remy now. It's not presumed. November and Hannah both would recognize the outfit. Although it is plain, it is definitely him.
Take his clothes, too.
Why am I taking his clothes?
Because they'll know that that's what he was wearing.
You know what? I'm really full with these hand thing right now, November. If you want to strip him naked and take his clothes, you go right ahead.
Okay. And I'll take his clothes off. I'm an old man. I don't care about nudity.
Dead headless corpse and nudity is what you bring up. Solid. Dead headless and handless corpse. But yes, you acquire his clothes, just a pair of burlap pants and a very simple cotton shirt.
How much you guys want to bet that those two guards are going to try to turn on that voice man?
Probably a safe bet, but I think they're going to die real quick if they do.
You see that thing he did with his voice?
What thing with his voice?
Well, he made himself pretty loud, pretty far away.
Well, when the preacher was talking in church for us, he was always really loud too. I don't know exactly, like maybe he had like some type of microphone and a little boom box on his back or something like that. The preacher, he had a little microphone that he used to speak into. And he could be heard even outside the church.
Yeah, but the acoustics of the church, I mean, that's math. You see,
Well, no, we were outside.
Oh. But he had the speaker. Did you see this man speaking into a speaker?
No, but did you see how he did it?
I think I have an idea.
Like a speaker. See, we're in agreement.
Like, maybe. Amplification, definitely.
Through a speaker.
Through his speaking.
Exactly. I'm glad we agree.
Well, do you think we have time to go get some parachutes?
Darian just looks at the rest of the group.
Where would we find some?
Wasn't there an old... There were... You know those helicopter tours? Did you ever take one of those?
No.
Well, there used to be helicopter tours in the city. Well, I guess there's lots of helicopters in the city, too. Like a news building might have a helicopter. Because that's where the news guys go. Big CEOs might have helicopters. So big, tall skyscrapers. Pretty sure helicopter tours are usually down. Well, we're on the Lower East Side, so maybe near the bridge.
What do you need this for, November?
Well, parachutes for my test pilots. For Alex.
Alex looks up, still pretty happy about the word test pilot, and definitely happy that there is mention of a parachute if there's going to be pilot testing. Guys, I'm getting pretty hungry. Anybody got any food they want to maybe hand off?
I'm running pretty low on rations, actually.
Alex kind of kicks the dust around his feet a little bit. Guess I'll wait till we get back.
Don't have any of the berries. I do not have any of the berries. I apologize.
Hannah distractedly says, "Here, check my bag for one." And she'll toss it over, or she'll lay it down at their feet.
He's a little cautious at first, but he opens up the top and kind of starts rifling through. If you do have rations in there, he's going to pull one out.
Yep, she does.
Where are we going to be heading back to the? So, like, are we heading back to the garden, or are we going to try and stop and see if we could find a parachute somewhere close by? Like, what's the plan for the rest of the day? Because it's early morning, so we can probably do a pretty leisurely stroll back to the garden at this point.
Might as well scavenge while we're over here.
Well, if you all don't mind, I'd like to hit one of the grassier areas, see if I can get something to skin, because I still did talk to Manny about getting him something, and I'm a man of my word, so I'd like to try and at least try and bring something back for him.
If you skin it, I'll eat what's left, man.
Yes, I know you will, Alex. I was kind of thinking I'd maybe keep it for myself.
That's fair. Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Would we have gotten a short rest in?
Between the walk back and then kind of hanging out here, yeah, I'd say short rest as it gets a little closer toward noon.
If it's closer towards noon, I don't think we can make it all the way back today.
And my happy pill now wears off.
I think we'd be pushing it. Be almost dusk, but we wouldn't be able to stop nowhere, I don't think.
We might as well scavenge around and go back to the safe house before the end of the day.
Yeah, we can definitely stay there because one of our companions has a very good relationship with the people that run it. Kind of just looks at Hannah with a little smirk on his face.
She doesn't seem to notice. She's staring at the badge, obviously thinking.
Alex takes another... Oh, go ahead.
I would like to go home tomorrow, no matter what the result of the day is.
Alex does take another the last bite of the ration and kind of crumples up the waxed paper that it was wrapped in and puts it in his pocket. Hannah, you're really quiet. You made that joke about you and that Eddie guy, and yesterday you just slapped him in the face.
Huh? Yeah, it's no big deal.
Huh. Well, thanks for the food. Stands up and kind of flexes a little bit, stretching out. It is what it is. I'm good to go whenever you all are.
Let's go find a parachute. I wonder if there's any tourist locations. Somewhere where we might find brochures. Maybe near the... How close are we to the George Washington Bridge? We're Lower East Side, right? So isn't that George Washington Bridge?
You are Lower East Side, so you are kind of halfway between Manhattan Bridge and Williamsburg Bridge currently.
Oh, Jesus. Did I just make up the George Washington Bridge? Is there even one?
I don't have a good answer for that.
Just the George
Oh,
Washington
that's Manhattan in New Jersey.
Bridge. The bridge exists.
Thank God.
I have a deed to it if you want to purchase it.
A deed?
Yeah. Do you want to own the George Washington Bridge? I have
How
a
much?
deed. $3.
I'll
George
need to
Washington-
verify it.
George Washington Bridge, by the way, is way north over by Broadway. It's up past like Harlem. It's on the north end of the island. So yeah, your options, you can go back towards Lower Manhattan, which is like Lower Manhattan, Little Italy, Soho. You could go a little bit north and east and up through like East Village. Or you could cross any of the bridges and head on over to like Brooklyn or Queens. I mean, they're very far, but you could do that. You could head south and head toward like the like Wall Street and the stock exchange area, things like that. Northwest would take you up towards Manhattan Borough, over by Tunnel, which crosses over into Jersey City. Or you could just go back up the way that you came, which would take you up to like East Village and Washington Square Park, NoHo, Nolita, things like that. So you got kind of your pick of the litter.
Can I roll a history check to see if my character would remember something that out of character I know that I think my character would know?
We can always roll dice. What are you trying to remember?
I'm trying to remember a very specific Pier 36. There's definitely helicopter tours from Pier 36, which is near Manhattan Bridge.
Yeah, I mean, your character was in New York before the falling, so would definitely know that area, and you guys are very close to Pier 36. So sure, go ahead and give me that history check. We're looking for a 12. It's pretty easy. There you go.
I know a place. I know a place where we might. I mean, it's a big might. But we might be able to get some parachutes. At the bare minimum, we could probably go fishing.
Do you know if anything's like parks that are near there or anything like that, or is it mostly just all buildings?
No, there's definitely a park near the pier.
Well, if we can get there and back to the safe house in time, I don't see any issues with it. And how about all you? Try and make some money to trade back at the garden. At least it's not this isn't a loss. We helped out Hannah, but make some money on the side wouldn't hurt.
If that's what you all want to do, that is what you all want to do.
So headed down to Pier 36, which is just across FDR, and it sits on the East River.
Beautiful.
All right, a wandering we shall go. This is distance-wise, it's only going to be 2 rolls. Let's see here. Dylan, D100, stay above a 25, please. That is not above a 25.
I love it when we fail the encounter rolls.
So it's only a couple of blocks that you've traveled. Let's go ahead and get yourself in kind of the marching order that you would be in. Hannah, you just tell me where you think you would be, and I'll put you kind of in the described area.
Hannah's probably hanging out near the back, probably 5 feet or 10 feet from the last person.
Except Minerva would be keeping pace with you, because you are obviously not out of it, but distracted, so she wants to make sure she stays by your side.
Makes sense.
I would be kind of up front, but I'd be asking the professor if he could kind of seems to know where he's going, so if he could help direct me the right way, and I'll just be keeping an ear out for any noises.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just gonna keep heading south until we hit the pier.
Yeah, no, that's all good, Professor, and we can talk about exactly what we're doing with these parachutes. I'm always up for a story. Like Gilligan's Island, let's make a radio out of coconuts.
Well, I want to learn how to travel.
Do you think one of these parachutes could be made into a hammock?
Yes. See, the thing about parachutes is you have to make sure that you're the one that folds your own parachute, because they have to be folded a special way. Now, I don't know that special way, so hopefully we can find someone who does. Or we'll just have to do some trial and error.
Do we know of a very tall building in the garden?
Well, since the garden's underground, there's not a lot of tall or really any buildings outside the couple that have been reconstructed down below it.
Or like a really tall pole that's climbable?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's a couple of flagpoles that don't normally have anything, and then the column has some height to it. It was a support column for the under section, so it's actually probably the tallest thing down there since it runs from floor to ceiling. So it's 50 feet.
I wonder how good Alex is at climbing, because there's that one pole that runs all the way up. We could fold it, make him climb up and jump off and see how it works. That might work, right, Professor?
Well, I mean, a first way to try, yeah.
So as you guys are walking and talking, Alex is giving a nod to the climbing. Yeah, I'm a pretty good climber. Did some before. You come around the corner and you're coming down this just this street, and you're somewhat out of sight. The bus stop shielding you a little bit, but there are some people standing around the edge of this building, and there's just a very early fire started here. You can see the smoke coming off. There's only a little bit of fire right now, and one of them has a bottle that they're emptying out, and you can see the liquid kind of fueling the fire some. They are down here.
Everybody just hold up.
They're not really paying attention to you. They're more watching this, and they look to be looking at some stuff that the one in the middle is holding.
Do they look like a certain people that I would know pretty well? AKA Ashers?
Between the fire and their very rough clothing, the cloaks and stuff, yes.
I would pull out my shield and my hammer immediately, and I do not look very happy.
What is it?
We got a group of Ashers up front. Looks like they either just did a recent kill or just burning shit to burn like they do.
Oh, so you wanna go kill them? Or cut their heads off?
I'll leave it to the rest of you, but honestly, one last Asher is always a good idea to me.
I mean, I don't want to deprive you of the victory of killing them. You seem to really hate them.
No, they're not. Definitely not on my top list of people that I wish to have a conversation with or have a conversation about for the most part. So, really, if you want to go back, talk to Hannah and Minerva and see what their take is on this, I'm going to kind of get up to the building and keep an eye on them from a distance.
I'm gonna stealth closer.
And I would stealth up to the side of the building, kind of like staying low and seeing if I can find, like, anything that might block it. Oh, you're going that way.
I'm stealthing closer. That's what I said.
Give me Darian and November. Give me stealths. At advantage because you're already not being paid attention to. Oh, look at that lucky day. So the professor trips a little bit, catches himself, readjusts. Does not seem like you have given your position away. Doc, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll stealth and join them. Yikes.
The doctor stubs his toe on the corner of the bus stop that's bent out just a little bit. Let's see if any of them notice. Nope, they're focused on whatever is in the hands of the middle greenish one.
Can I try to see what he's holding? Can I try to perceive it?
Of course. Hannah, Minerva, what are you two doing while the professor tries to sneak a peek? Give me that perception check.
Hannah, child, are you all right? You seem pensive.
What? Yeah. Wait. Fuck, where did they go?
There's people up ahead. I'm not quite sure what they're planning on doing. It looks like they plan to be aggressive. I haven't.
She shakes her head as if to undaze herself, puts the badge away. Okay, I'm here. Are we following them?
I guess.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure I'm willing to fight. This seems a little aggressive, but Darian seems to know what he's doing out here. I would trust in him.
Are they Ashers? Darian hates Ashers.
I have not seen an Asher since we traveled to the garden.
Yes. Fair. Okay. Hannah's gonna look forward and take a look at them, and see whether or not Darian's being fairly aggressive.
As you move up, you see the professor. The professor is up in the front, and he's kind of looking. You're very out of sorts, but everybody does have the two people with weapon acumen. Darian and Alex both have weapons drawn currently. You can't really tell what the Ashers are doing. but the professor is watching them very closely.
But they are obviously ashers.
Yeah, they have very sooty cloaks, and the corner of this building is on fire. It looks like they have just started this fire.
I'm going to roll 1d2. 1, I'm going to do something stupid.
Nice.
Okay.
Aww.
I'm going to roll stealth. And I'm going to move closer.
Yeah, I would like to do stealth to get to where all the others are as well.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna make my
am
move first.
right on Professor Steele's.
Cool. Yep, moves first and then stealth, so we're not taking actions back. The professor
Just trying to
moves.
cut around the corner.
So the professor squeaks around the corner. A couple of pebbles crunch under the feet, but nothing too noticeable. Darian is much quieter, coming up and around in the shade of this fire escape that's along the street. Hannah gets over to wherever she was going, near Minerva and Alex.
I'm following the Minerva.
Okay, following up on Minerva quite quietly, since all these are at advantage because they are distracted currently.
The sneakiest grandmother you know.
So I made it this far and they haven't reacted to my presence?
Correct.
Okay, now I'm going to do something stupid.
I'm assuming that means initiating combat, right?
Yep.
Okay, so they will be surprised, but we're going to go ahead and roll initiative. I will add Hannah, and she's at a +2.
Do you give any sign, November, or do you just do it?
He looks at you and he smiles. Like a toothy grin. And he did say that he wasn't going to deprive you of the ability to kill them, because he feels
okay.
you like to kill them.
As soon as you do a toothy grin, I'm running straight for him.
So the grin is where like the music in the movie starts slowly fading in for the what's going to be playing over the fight scene. Probably
That's what it sounds
something
like.
Ballroom Blitz or something, depending on how well the combat goes, actually.
My God,
Shouldn't
thank
pick the
you.
music.
That was the best song you could pick, Minerva.
Oh, you're welcome.
Just hope I go first.
Yep, I'm just pulling in my macros here and rolling theirs.
For tiebreaker purposes, I have a +3.
All right,
You
so
can enable
are-
tiebreakers.
You can.
I like
Just
making
manual-
Matt do the work.
Yeah, I like having a little extra work to do.
It's great. In one game, another game I'm playing, I have a negative dexterity modifier. So it ended up, I rolled a natural 1, and the tiebreaker brought me down to negative 0.01.
Nice. Good old -0.
It's my favorite number. All right. The doctor, I don't think would be able to see November give the toothy grin, so probably caught off guard by Darian charging in and November doing whatever dumb things he's doing. So if you don't have a problem with that logic, I'm going to skip your turn, Doctor.
Uh-huh.
Hannah, you're kind of in the same boat, if you're all right with that.
Yeah, I will just keep moving quietly.
Yep. All right, November, you're up.
Okay. So I give the toothy grin, and then I'm sprinting up 5, 10, 15, 20. And I hold my ball up into the sky, and I go, "Wah!" And I cast Thunderwave. And I'm casting it at level 2. Oh my god. A 10 and then a 1. That's such a bad roll.
These are con saves, correct?
Yes, so they make constitution saves. On a failed save, they take the damage and are pushed 10 feet away from me.
This will be
What-
top to bottom, and all three of them are hit, right?
Yes, 15 foot.
What was your
What's-
question, Jeff? Or Dylan, sorry?
What's the damage dice on Thunderwave?
2d8.
Yeah, that roll sucked. Damn.
Yeah. And I
That's
did it
rolling
at
1
second
by
level,
1
too.
d8 equals 1? So you only rolled 1 d8?
That was at second level. So there's the 2d8 below that, which is at first level, and then I cast it at a higher level cast, so that...
Ah, okay.
All right, so
So
the
one
one
failed.
closest... Yep, the closest one to you failed. The other two did not. So they'll take half damage. Well, the one will take full damage, and he gets pushed 10 feet.
10 feet away.
He'll take the full 11. The other two will not get moved, but they will take 6.
6.
All right. That was move action. Anything else?
So that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's my turn.
All right. Minerva.
Am I surprised like everyone else was for my first turn?
That is literally what I was just about to say. I was scrolling back up to see where you're at. So I would, if you're all right with that logic, that you wouldn't have been able to see the exchange between November and Darien, you'll be kind of caught off guard about the immediate charge from these two.
Yeah, definitely.
The white shirt boy also caught off guard, knocked to the ground right next to this fire, but does not have any other actions. Also surprised. Darien, the only other person aware of this exchange.
Darian would like to go into a frenzy rage. And then he will run all the way up to this guy and just take his light hammer and try and smash him straight in the head.
That definitely connects for a substantial amount of damage.
And that is all I can do because I already used my bonus action.
For now. All right. Caught off guard. Top of the order, Doctor. The professor has run in screaming. There was an echoing sound, and then Darien ran in screaming, and there was a thumping and bloody sound.
I think I can. He'll throw his last poison dart at the one Darien attacked.
DC 13 con. Describe your kill.
Right between the eyes. Whizzing past Darien's ear.
So it launches past Darien's ear. The dart right between the eyes. He's still standing, but then you see the eyes kind of roll back in the head. The poison taking hold, and the body just like crumples right in front of Darien, almost slumping on him. The head kind of bounces off his chest as he hits the ground, foaming at the mouth.
And then he'll do that thing where he points his trank gun up and blows away the quote unquote smoke coming. Still got it.
Hannah.
Hannah's like, what the fuck? I don't have any sense of the battle map right now. Hannah would go to a place that is decently safe in the sense that she can't get surrounded by everyone, and throw a firebolt at the one that Darien seems like he's going to go to next. So whoever's closest to Darian.
Sure. Go ahead and throw it. I got you in position. All that good stuff. It does connect. So Firebolt arcs past Darian as well. So a dart past one ear, and as he turns his head, it moves out of the way as the Firebolt goes past the back of his head, and it impacts this Asher in the shoulder. It burns away a chunk of the cloak, and you can see scarred up skin as it cauterizes immediately. Anything else?
Nope.
November.
Okay. He's gonna. He attempts like a commando roll past the bus stop. It doesn't work very good, and he comes up, and I'm gonna say that it costs him half his movement to do so. But he comes up and he's like, ah, and I shoot a firebolt at the one I previously damaged. Significant. So, wham!
Firebolt comes up here as well, straight in the stomach. It burns most of the shirt away, and there's boils and stuff coming up off of the skin that you can see underneath. Definitely significant burning to the body. Anything else?
That was 5, 10, half movement to do my commando roll, and I'll just keep moving. Huh! My turn.
Minerva.
I'm going to move forward over here and honestly, she has nothing. Like, sure, Ashers are horrid people, but they seem to have this in hand, and she doesn't really want to fight anymore right now. So she's going to ready an action to sling a stone at someone if it looks like they're coming for her, but that's about it.
Self-defense mode. I can respect that. Alex is a bit caught off guard by what everybody is doing here. Still a little also wary of Hannah being a little aloof and Minerva not actually attacking. He is going to stand here and ready in action if somebody comes in range. So he's kind of defending Hannah and Minerva and will pass this one, who only the professor saw holding something up in the glinting light that was knocked away. Stands up and he pulls something out of his pocket and kind of rifles around some. It is a revolver, actually, and he's putting a single round in it. He closes it up and he points it. Let's see who he points it at. 1, 2 is Darian because he's quite scary. 3 is the professor. 4 and 5 is the doctor because he killed his friend. So 1d5. 1, 2 Darian. 3 professor. 4, 5 doctor. 4, 5 doctor it is. So a shot rings out. Let's see what we got here. Bang! Oh, does not hit, I don't think. An 11 against you? All right.
So
the bullet-
my AC, but
I have you at 13, it looks like.
yep, 13.
So the bullet ricochets off of the the crack of the revolver. It echoes down the streets. The bullet ricochets off of the fire escape behind the doctor and just hits a building on the other side of the street. He can do nothing else. Darian,
almost acting like an animal on instinct, goes straight towards the sound, and he will rush. Oh, he runs. Okay, I will run straight after him and run through. I will take that opportunity attack.
he will swing. So this one has a hatchet that he swings at you as you run past. 8 does not hit you.
No, and as I get to, I will use reckless attack.
think this is the most frenzied anybody has seen Darian since the snake encounter. Holy Christ. Yeah, you can describe what happens, my guy.
Yeah, so I am bull rushing. This guy swings an axe, and I imagine it even just like slices open the side of my leg a bit, but I just keep going. As I run into this guy, I don't even hit him with my hammer. I just grab the shield, throw him up in the side of the building, take my other hand with the hammer, and just smash his face into the side of the building.
Yeah, and there's no face left. There's no top half of the body. I mean, it's a pulp. He's stuck to the side of the building, his feet dangling and twitching above the ground. It's quite a scene.
And as the body falls to the ground, Darren just turns his head. His face is completely in veins right now and just stares at the last one.
That one is dead. That one. Jesus. He's definitely going to attack Darian. He pulls out a bottle and is going to throw it here, right into the fire. So the bottle, he throws it, it smashes. The liquid ignites kind of in midair and it splashes on Darian. Darian, you're currently burning. You'll take 5 fire damage as the gasoline splashes on your body, and it's on fire right now. You're currently also on fire, so you'll take damage at the start of your turn, and as long as you... Oh, I put it on the... The fire is also burning, apparently. There we go. Red marker, on fire. That is all. He's also going to... Excuse me. So throw and start running this way. He's kind of limping. Doctor.
It's just the one limping away, right?
Yes, yeah. Darian has pulped one and you poison killed the other one.
This is a regular dart.
Still enough. Go ahead and describe it.
He's aiming for the leg, whichever one she's limping with. I'm sorry, was it she or he?
Looks like it's probably a guy.
Okay, so yeah, whatever leg he was limping with is one he aimed.
So the dart catches the leg and topples over. Head smashes the ground and the body just kind of twitches. The impact, not enough speed to catch himself. Head makes contact with the ground and there's an immediate small pool of blood that starts coming out around them. That will end combat.
Can he? First thing he does is he wants to go check this guy for bullets.
Absolutely. So there is one other bullet in the pocket of this guy here. Darian is still freaking out a little bit. Darian, how are you coping now that there's no bodies or no living bad guys around?
As long as none of them are moving, I'm probably going to smash this guy's face for about 3 more times, and then I'd probably be okay.
So as the doctor approaches, Darian is like smashing the head in. Doctor kind of reaches in, rifles through the pockets, and backs away as Darian finishes pulping the body. Professor November, looks like you're looking at that body up there.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna search through their pockets now.
Absolutely. So this one has a bag. This one has the bag at his feet. It's blown apart a bit by your thunder wave.
Mm-hmm.
But you find inside 2 glass bottles. They look like they were probably wine bottles at some point. The tops are just covered in like plastic with a bit of rope, but you can smell the fumes of gasoline coming up from them. So you have 2 bottles of gasoline, and you also find Oh, nice. Give me a second to look at this. While we're doing that, Hannah and Minerva, what are you two doing while I pull this up?
Holy shit. What the fuck is he doing to that body?
I do not know. Do not think I want to know.
I don't think I want to go near him.
Not right now, no.
Well done, my boy. Well done.
Darren were to use an action to try and pat out the fire that he is currently engulfed in.
So you'll take 2 more fire damage, and then you'll be able to pat it out. All it takes is an action to pat it out, like you have done, and I'm sure you'll come out of that rage essentially as well. So 2 more fire damage. Fire is out. Professor, in the bag. So you have the 2 bottles of gasoline. You find an entire bundle of newspapers. They're still wrapped.
Beautiful.
You find give me a D3.
Oh, hold on.
Sure.
Got the word roll.
You find a little like velvet package of very glittery dust. Give me another D3. No, excuse me. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A D7.
Oh, I like that number. Another one.
You find a bottle of viscous clear fluid and 1 more D7.
This is another one. 7.
You find it's a little like plastic, like one of those little half Ziploc sandwich bags, that you'd put like snacks in for a small child. It's got dirt in it, and there's like a little chute coming up out of the dirt. So for posterity's sake, you have found 1 unit of mineral oil, 1 unit of quartz dust, and 1 unit of seedling flour.
One more time. 1.
Yeah, so 1 of each of the following: mineral oil, quartz dust, and seedling flour.
Flour. FLOUR or FLOWER?
FLOWER, like a flower that blooms. There is also two makeshift hatchets. And that is all on that one. So the mineral oil, the quartz dust, the seedling flour, 2 makeshift hatchets. Doctor, you have found 1 jacketed round. I probably should be specific on what kind that is. It is a... Oh, there's not special
38.
kinds of jacketed rounds. There's a... Oh, yeah, there are. This is a full metal jacket round, this piercing damage. So 1 full metal jacket round. A revolver.
Beautiful.
Doctor also finds a leather belt. And give me a D100, Doc. Hey. You find excuse me. You actually find a bottle of distilled water in a little makeshift pack that's attached to the belt. So 1 unit of distilled water. Darian, now that you have recovered on this one, you find a makeshift hatchet. Give me a D100. and a bottle of water. Let's see if there's any other. Nope. Okay, so 2 bottles of gasoline, 2 things of water, mineral oil, quartz dust, seedling flour, revolver, bullet, and 3 makeshift hatchets.
Darian, are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm a little tired now, but other than that, I'm just peachy. Why do you ask, Anna?
Do you see what you did to that body?
Yes, it's quite dead.
It's quite destroyed.
Oh, tomato. I would say, we gotta destroy a body to kill it, right?
It's probably better that we destroy all the bodies, because we're not sure what makes a K-list. And if the body's destroyed, we don't want them to have any teeth or any claws. So, Darian, you should probably cut off their heads and their hands. Right? Just kind of looking back and forth between everybody, like, is this line of thinking correct or is it crazy?
Darian grabs out his glaive and chops off the head and the hands.
This group has made this venture outside the garden profitable, actually, from what I can tell.
Is this building behind us like going up very quickly in flames, or?
Not at all. It's a very slow burn. The building's mostly stone. They've obviously put some tinder and stuff around it. Looks like they used newspaper to start it and some scraps of wood that they'd probably found inside. But it's a
Do
slow
I
burn.
see any doors or entrances to this building?
There's one over here. And it looks like there might be one behind the fire itself right here, but no others. And the windows are all boarded up on the second floor.
Could be wrong, but they might have been burning this for a reason. Should we maybe take a quick look?
Wouldn't hurt.
I don't think there's going to be any parachutes inside, but
Wait. Parachutes? What?
yeah, that's why we're going south.
We go. Wait. Why do you need parachutes?
So that Alex can... Yeah, Minerva will explain.
I just said that he has not said.
Oh, for the test pilot.
Alex
Test
looks
pilot
over his
for
shoulder.
what?
That's me. I'm the test pilot.
For what?
Well, for my saucer.
Are you fucking... Your flying saucer. Your alien flying saucer.
Well, it won't be alien. It'll be mine.
November, we've talked about this. We've tested your saucer. It does not hold much weight. It does not go high.
Well, it holds a lot of weight. It held both of us. I think it can hold more. It's just the momentum. It doesn't fly when I'm on it. So Alex has to test it, and I'm gonna try to put some of my other spells into it. Like I can. You've seen it with the washers, where I make them fly.
But parachutes, you have to be incredibly high up to use parachutes. You do know that.
Well, I mean that's the whole point. We want to get high up.
But when did you test this only at like 10 feet up at first?
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy that.
Well, you got a plan for the future.
Okay.
Worst case, if we find extras, Anna, we can probably sell it. Probably good cloth, right? And Professor said I could keep one and make a hammock out of it.
As long as we have some, then we're going to need to test out first how to fold them. Because you got to fold them the right way, and I don't know how to do that.
Which is why we're going to make Alex climb up that really big pole in the garden. And he's going to jump off, and then we're going to see how it works to make sure we folded it right.
What?
I do not remember that part of it.
Are you all stupid? You're gonna break his legs. Alex, oh my god.
That's what the parachute is for.
That's what the doctor's
I don't
for.
know if it'll work.
That's what the doctor's for.
That's what the doctor's for. That's right.
Yeah, look, man. The professor says it's going to work. We got the doctor, and hey, worst case scenario, he pats his legs. You can just make me some metal legs like yours, right?
No, that. Oh my fucking god. When did you come up with this idea?
What's it been? Probably about 3 days, 4 days, Professor?
I think that was only 2 days ago.
2 days, Hannah. We've been thinking it up over 2 days.
Darian, how
Yep.
many other things do you believe the professor about?
Well, I have to believe it because he did it to me and I didn't enjoy it. And he said that I could be the test pilot. And I said, no way I'm going higher than this because I didn't enjoy that. And I said, hey, Alex loves to fly, so he loves to do stuff like that. So I recommended Alex, and Alex was 100% okay with it. And then from there, we needed to find parachutes. And then he just goes on a whole tangent of the past 2 days' conversations.
Alex nods along very gleefully to the whole thing. Like, yeah, man, yeah, better than fighting.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see what they were trying to burn in this building.
Yeah, let's do that. And I just kicked the door.
Boom. Door opens up very easily. I'll go over that stuff, and I'll go over what's found inside in RP chat for the day. Let's vote on an MVP for the session, and then we'll do some experience, and we'll call it a night. We'll do some RP during the week for everybody else, but let's do the closing stuff. So, does anybody have nominations for RP MVP for the night for that extra sweet 25 XP?
I forgot that we were doing that now. I would vote Darian.
I gotta go Hannah. It's Hannah and November kind of like weirdly tied, but Hannah's probably my main vote.
I'm going with Tim on this one. I like the extra rage flavor.
Oh yeah, good point.
Darian. I
Yeah,
vote
Darian.
Darian.
And the Darians get it. The Darians of the world indeed get it. So, everybody except for Darian gets a 145 RP XP. Darian gets 170 RP XP. And all players get 290 combat experience. So, totals that I have, again, 290 combat, 145 RP for everybody except for Darian, who gets 170. Dylan, I have you at 2832, which puts you at level 4.
Woo!
That matchup? All right. The woo, I'll take the woo as a yes. Graham, I have you at 2852, which puts you at
Ooh,
level
yeah,
4.
baby.
Emily, I have you at 2823, puts you at level 4.
Yes, I do have a question though.
Shoot.
I deliberately did not participate in the last combat.
You deliberately did not participate in the last combat. However, with you being on guard and still having like a semblance of the combat, had it gone a different way, you would have technically participated. So I still split the experience with you.
Okay, as
yeah.
long as there's reasoning, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Essentially, if you're in the vicinity of the combat with the party, you'll get split XP. The only time you really don't get our combat experience is if you actively try and run away from combat while everybody else is there, or if you're not at the session.
Okay.
Tim, I have you at 2717, which puts you just over the cusp to get to level 4.
Huzzah!
Jeff, I have you at 2690.
Fucking bonus.
2690. No, I'm just kidding. 2753, which also makes you level 4.
Yeah, 2753 is what I have too. I actually did the math.
Look at that. All right. Now, is anybody taking average hit points?
Me.
All right, so you put your average hit points in.
Boo.
Yeah,
I'm rolling because I'm not a coward.
I know it.
Fuck Howard.
Let me get over to stats and we'll do this. So, Hannah at level 4 is getting the 4 hit points. Is that correct? You get 4 total extra hit points?
No, I'll do 4 for the dice and 3 for Constitution. It's just
I thought it
4.
was one above the average. So should it be 5 plus con?
D6 would be
D6.
a 4.
Yeah, D6 is
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
All right. Graham at level 4. You are rolling, so go ahead and roll your hit dice. Let's see what we got here.
A wizard is 1d6?
Yes, sir.
You can just hit the hit
Plus.
dice button.
Yeah, you can just hit your hit.
I like to type it.
Oh, the hard roll. I love it.
Booyah!
Ooh,
Very
the big
nice.
10.
Nice.
So rolling that 6.
Beefy wizard.
Yep.
37 hit points.
Emily, I have you at a D8, right?
Yes.
Not
Oh
too
well,
shabby.
slightly lower.
It's all good.
Is our
Jeff,
current hit points going up at the same value, by the way?
Yes, yeah, you get the addition onto your hit points now immediately. Not a full heal, but you get full hit points from the roll. Jeff, D6, right?
Yep. Keep in mind, this will be +1 as well from the level 2 in Perfectionist. Gives me 1 additional hit point per level.
I do remember that. Yep.
So it's a total of 8.
Very nice. So we have that's a 5. Yep. All right. I'm just recording the rolls for it is all.
Yeah, I got average. Oh wait, no, mine's a D6, right? So I got above average.
Yeah, you're above average. And then Tim, a D12 if you're staying in Barbarian. So a 4. All right.
Yep.
No need. We'll go over at the beginning of next session what we've added to our character sheets. So take that upon yourselves to do level up over the course of the next week.
And it's just standard. We're not introducing any of the weird spend XP on things yet.
Correct. No XP spending. That doesn't happen at levels anyway. But nothing crazy. It's just by the book leveling up right now. Make your choices. If you have questions, obviously hit me up in the D&D game stuff channel. Questions that you've got. You can ask the population of our server for anything you'd want to in the general chat.
Are you doing feats?
I am allowing feats. So if you would be gaining a stat at level 4 and you would like to do a feat instead, please do so.
I think most have found all classes their ability score increase at 4, right?
So
Yeah, I think everybody is unless they're split. Yeah.
So just so you know right now, my feat I took gives me plus and con, so I'm going to go up 4 HP.
Yeah, you'll get it's retroactive. Yeah, so you'll get it all.
I need to find intelligence feats.
There's a couple of them. Okay, so we have finished session 10, our 10th session in Rhapsody. So congratulations, we got ourselves a follower during the stream. So big shout outs for that. Thank you so much to NRD Forge. Nerd Forge is how I'm thinking that is.
Cool.
If you want to join us live, again, we are live almost every Friday, pending anything crazy happening, at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We play for 4-ish hours, plus or minus, with a little break in between. Now to do all the garbage stuff before we say goodbye. Brought to you in part by inkedgaming.com and Team Rankstar. You can go to inkedgaming.com and get all of your gaming needs, whether it's playmats, mouse pads, gaming crates, or battle maps to play Dungeons and Dragons. And you can use code TRS12, which was graciously given to us by Team Rankstar. Use that code at checkout, get 12% off your final purchase across anything and everything, custom art included. Our music that you heard during the break in the intro, and then when I'm done talking in the outro, is from taketones.com. We're using some tunes from Max Tunes. You can get your free music as well. I have to do a shout them out every once in a while. You can use it in your YouTube videos, Twitch streams, anything your heart desires. And we've been playing on Roll20.net. You can go to Roll20 today and play for free with people all over the world, friends, strangers. You can find pickup games, and you can play hundreds of different tabletop systems nearly seamlessly. Every once in a while there's some problems, but they're very easy to work out. Roll20 is a spectacular system and a great staff that usually takes care of everybody that reaches out to them. So head on over to Roll20.net and start your travels in whatever world your heart desires. Final shout out goes to Wizards of the Coast. Thank you so much for making Dungeons and Dragons. It gives us something to do together every week, gives us something to talk about amongst ourselves and with our population over the course of the week. We so much enjoy playing this and everything that you've done. So thank you so much for putting this together so many decades ago. Very happy with all this. Make sure you join us next week when we move towards the pier and then beyond. We'll see if the party is able to get back into the garden with the proof that they have completed what they were given and find out what is in store for them next. If you want to hang out with us in Discord, you can do that !D&D in the stream, which is at twitch.tv/missjinxed, or you can find it in the information below in the YouTube description. Come on over, hang out with us, watch the RP, and keep up with everything that is going on, see all the custom rules and all that kind of stuff. If nobody else has anything, I guess this is me telling all of you good night, and thanks for joining us. So say goodbye.
Miss you, Allie. That's about it.
Miss
Bye.
Allie too. Bye. All right, and production will sign us out. Thanks so much again.